good you've been to me. You've been a good friend. Whenever I needed you, knowledge and lessons, so that I can be the best that I can be for you. Everything is for you, and it's because of you. I can't give it truth, yeah, in a graceful way. You protect me from danger in a graceful way. I've been losing this major. You guys got me feeling like, ooh, grace got me feeling like, ooh. Got me feeling like I'm blessed. Cause no matter the circumstance, I always pass the test. When the money is low and I ain't got nothing left, all of a sudden out of nowhere I'm cashing a check. Ain't nobody better, you the best. I'm hit by grace. You can feel it through my heart and my chest. Won't stop praising till I rest. Meaning I won't stop praising till the very end of my death. You've been a good friend. Whenever I needed you, knowledge and lessons, so that I can be the best that I can be for you. Everything is for you, and it's because of you. I can't feel in truth, yeah, in a graceful way. You protect me from danger in a graceful way. I make moves and it's major. Games got me feeling like, ooh. Grace got me feeling like, ooh. It's so cold, so cold. But you give me joy, give me joy. You give me life, you give me peace. You give me peace. You're the one I adore, yeah. And you can, everything is for you, and that's because of you. I can't feel in truth, yeah, in a graceful way. You protect me from danger in a graceful way. I make moves and it's major. Grace got me feeling like, ooh. Grace got me feeling like, ooh. I'm jamming to my own music. Yeah, I just turned my AC on. It's kind of hot in this hallway. I gotta turn my fan this way. Hold on. All right, let me go to my text. Okay, 1 second, be right back. Hold up. All right, I'm back. Okay, I got some stuff to share with you all. When I first made the first video, I had my house clothes on because I'm not going anywhere today. I'm chilling. I'm going out this weekend, right? So I didn't want y'all to see me. So then I was like, you know what? Just let me get cute. Just let me make myself cute. and y'all could just see me instead of my wall on my TV. How unprofessional are you, Apostle? You know better, Apostle. You're supposed to stay professional all times. So I went and put me some. You see me? Y'all like my throwbacks? 2019, 2018. I was just scrolling through this phone. This is my second phone. Something fell. I don't know what fell, but I heard something fall. Oh. Right, okay, so I was on this phone, and I've had this phone for a year. And I didn't realize that
like mostly almost all my videos from 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, and 21 transferred. So I was just going through my phone because on my artist page on Instagram, which is Rosalind, ROSALIND dot Solomon, SOLOMON 50. Go and subscribe. You know, I have to approve you, but go and subscribe because you'll get, I got like 10 little videos and posts with different samples of music, right? And I'm gonna start putting other stuff on there pertaining to music. So it's Rosalind period or Rosalind dot Solomon 50 Instagram. So I put up like 5 new ones today, right? So I was just scrolling through my phone and Daddy was like, keep going, keep going. So I said, Daddy, I lost a lot of weight. I looked at myself. I have so many videos, right? But I just picked 2 to share with y'all. And so I was looking at him. I was like, oh my gosh, Daddy, look how much weight I lost. I've lost like 65 pounds so far, right? And I got a little ways to go. But I really saw it. And then some of my pictures y'all never seen before. It's on Instagram. And 2 of them, I was in this long gown with a covering on because I was going, I think, to an engagement or something, a video shoot, one of them. And I was looking at, I was like, Daddy, I lost so much weight. And I was like, I look so different, right? So then when I was watching the videos, the 2018, 2019 video, I was like, wow, Daddy, I said, I changed so much. You know, I'm still that funny person. I'm still singing to y'all, but I sound so much better. You know? And I don't yell as much like y'all remember how like 3 years ago I used to yell a lot when I preach. I don't yell anymore. I just get Holy Spirit fire now. And so he was like, share them. I was like, why? He was like, because you got a lot of new people who follow you and they didn't know you back then and they're curious to see how you were like 5 and 8 years ago. I was like, all right, so they'll see my big old fat self, you know, and see that I'm still the same, but I changed some, and that my music has changed and my voice has changed, is coming back into itself, you know, because back then I was just wilding out. Back then when I sung, I just was singing. I ain't care if I was off tune or not. I was just singing to God. You know, so God wanted me to share that because I got a lot of new followers, especially on Facebook, almost 22,000 people, you know, so so he told me to put them up. So I was like, all right, Daddy, I ain't putting no more up right now. Look at sis, she hard at work. You so hard for the money. Hello, everybody. All right, so dang, it's only 39 people. I guess people working. They outside. I notice early in the morning a lot of people come on. That's why I come on early in the morning. But this morning, sister was sleeping. I got up, took a shower, was praying to Daddy in the shower, got out the shower, read my Bible, and was talking to Daddy. So I was like, I'll just come on in the afternoon. Good morning. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? And my video, that's the 2019 video, at the end when I talk about those 5 different books, I believe all those books are on Barnes & Nobles now. You can get them on Barnes & Nobles. It's about 5 books I was talking about because I was giving a class. And if you pay $65, you get the book. If you pay $50, you get this book. So all 5, especially Fruitful Knowledge, definitely on Barnes & Nobles. So those 5 books are definitely on Barnes & Nobles. Just put in Apostle Rosalind Solomon books. And then look, if you don't see them, then put in Rosalind Solomon books. You'll see them. Same thing on Amazon. If you want books on there, you put in Apostle Rosalind Solomon books. Then you go through them. Then after that, you put Rosalind Solomon books. I even on Amazon, you could put in Prophetess Rosalind Solomon books, and a few may come up. Right? So, but altogether, I got 160 books published. You know, and I got like 40, 50 more that have never been published. And I don't even know when or if I will ever get to those books. And then I got a prep book I'm working on, but that's going to be for a couple of months. Because I got a lot of books that they're on the platform, but I have to republish them and everything. Try and transfer the book cover. If not, do a book cover. It's like 40 or 50 of them, and it would take me a long time. So I'm just gonna wait until Daddy give me people who can help me, assist me, and do that. All right, so I just wanted to let y'all know for that video for 2019. Any of y'all wondering about the book, because it said 100 and some people looked at it, because it's almost 3 hours long. And I know people don't have attention spans, but look at it. And the second one's on there, hour and some change, because Daddy told me to put it up there, so obviously he wants y'all to listen to it. All right. And those videos was on my old channel, Prophetic Voice of Yahushua's Ministry, that I used to have on YouTube, but I took it down, right? All right. And I got plenty of videos. Just ain't gonna put them all up there. Just some of them maybe. And again in the future. Yeah. All right. So see, that's why I come on in the morning or late at night. Because when I come on in the morning or late at night, they be here. This time of the day ain't nobody here. All right, so let's get started. Father, in the name of Yahushua Jesus, let me say these things you want me to say them. Bless my mouth to speak what you want me to speak, and bless all who is hearing it, who is of you and who are not of you. If you're not of the Lord, you can let me know, and I will invite you to Yahushua Jesus Christ in Yahushua Jesus' name. And God bless everybody that's here that belongs to God. If you don't, you better come on over before it's too late for you. In Yahushua Jesus' name. What's up, James? Oh, thanks, Alicia. You got my threads. Put up my Instagram too. I gotta put my Alicia. Can you send that to me in my text? Send that to me, because I have to add that to my links to put under my videos, and then I gotta add my artist page from Instagram under there too. So send me, because I was trying to figure out my link to threads. But right now it's public, but God told me to go ahead and make it private. So all of you who want to join my threads without me having to approve you, you better run over there, because when I get off of here, I'm going to make it private, because Daddy told me to make it private for some reason. And my Instagram is private too. You know, because they got so much hacking going on, guys. It's ridiculous. Even though, you know, I'm an artist and I should make my Instagram public. And even though I'm an apostle with a prophetic layer, I should make my threads public. But they just hacking you. And Daddy said they love to come after people like me that's in the ministry and have a lot of people so they can scam the people. You know, they you know, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Even on my Instagram, I don't let people share my pics, but I let you share the videos, because when you're an artist, they give you the choice of letting people share your pics, and I'm like, no, because that's what they use to trick you. They go and make an account using my pic, right? So I said no, but my videos on there, you could use, you know, with the pic in it, you could use those. It's hard for them to use the pic with the music attached to it. And on Facebook, on both my channels, Rosalind Solomon and Prophetic Mantle, I have where this is the official page of Rosalind Solomon. So I'm letting y'all know right now, because in the future, people probably are going to try and duplicate my page. It's already happened on Facebook once and on here, and YouTube shut the channel down, right? So just know, I will never email you from Facebook or Prophetic Mantle or Rosalind Solomon asking you for money. I will never do that. Y'all know that if I want to ask you for donations, I will come on here and tell you, or I will type it out myself on my page. Same thing with Instagram. I won't ask you for nothing. I would never send y'all any like type of stock information or crypto, or tell y'all what crypto to do or what stock to buy. I would come on here and tell you anything about cryptos and stock that God tell me, or Facebook or Instagram. I would come live. I would never text it to you on Instagram. I would never ask you for donations on Instagram, Facebook, or on here, unless I'm physically coming on here. And I'm just letting y'all know that. And if you ever see pages where I'm giving you a prophecy, because that's what somebody else was doing, All y'all gotta do is click on the handle, because now YouTube puts the handle and the picture. So all you gotta do is click on the picture or the handle, and then you go straight to the channel, and you'll know if it's mine. You won't see all my videos and different stuff. You know, you'll know instantly that it's fake, and that's not me giving you a prophecy or me asking you to donate to some orphanage. So just know the 2 Facebook pages I had, that's all I have. If you see anything outside of that, it ain't me. If somebody inboxing you on Facebook asking you for money, that's not me, because I would make a video. Same thing on Instagram. If they trying to get you to buy stock and crypto, that's not me, because you know I would come on here and I would tell y'all myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting y'all know, you know, so y'all won't be getting scammed and stuff, because they use channels like mine and other people that have followings, whether mid-size, small, you know, but a decent following, they will use these channels, you know. And that's why my YouTube comments are private, and they're gonna stay that way. I don't care how many I get, you know. I don't care how long it takes me to get to the comments, they're gonna stay that way, so I can weed out these false people. Okay, wait, hold up. Now I got too much air on me. Hold on. All right, let me give y'all these words, because I got to cook me some dinner. I got to cook me some dinner today. What? Oh, no, y'all got to read this text. What? That girl out her mind, Alicia. She out her mind. She trying to act innocent, Alicia. She sent me a donation 2 a.m. in the morning 2 days ago, right? And I refunded it back to her and wrote in the box, you know you a witch. You know what you did. She ain't never sent the money back. Nor did she respond to me. Well, she can't, because I blocked her on Facebook. And if you see her on here, block her. Right? And I was like, Daddy, why is she sending me a donation? Because Daddy says she trying to act like she ain't a witch. She trying to play innocent. The nerve of her. And then she gonna, after you block her, she gonna ask you, before you block her, she gonna ask you how I'm doing. She knows she's sneaking and watching. Come on now. You know what? I'm sick of these witches. I'm gonna oust them from now on. I'm not hiding them no more. You know, when you come for me, I'm ousting you. I'm letting my followers know who you is, because sometimes these witches be following different people that they know that I'm close to, like Alicia, Pat. You know, it's a whole bunch of y'all that I'm close to. Sophie and Precious and all of them. You know what I mean? And my daughter and son in Florida. And my own kids be watching my videos, but they don't let you know all the time. My son do sometimes. You know, they'll single those kind of people out because if they can't get to me, they'll try and get to you, right? Many witches been after Pat for sure, and after my brother Travis and Shelly, and you know, other people. Not my brother Julian yet that I know of. I got 2 brothers named Julian, TC and Julian, right? But I've known witches to come after other people who follow me because they can't get to me, and I always would hide them and never tell you their names. You know what? And I told Daddy the other day, I said, Daddy, I'm ousting these witches. I'm tired of them. I'm fed up with them. I said, I'm gonna oust their butts from now on. I'm gonna tell people, and I'm gonna tell you who the witch is, because you know what? When you say who they is, that makes them flee. Y'all know that other witch that was on here a couple of months ago? Didn't she flee? Okay, Yama. The one I call Yama, that's always talking about poor Miss Pat. And me and Alicia constantly tell her to stop saying poor Miss Pat. Because when you say poor in a person's name, you put in poverty. And 2 years now, she's been doing that. And Pat had been having problems with finance. I kept asking God, what's wrong with Pat finance? Then the moment I found out Yama was the witch sending me this paella stuff, right? And her way she was acting on Facebook and stuff. The moment I found out, I said, Daddy, he brought it. No, Alicia texted me. And she said, you know what? Sis, before you found out who she was, she used to always say poor Miss Pat. And I used to always get on her and tell her stop calling Pat poor. And the light bulb went off in my head. I said, wait a minute. She's been saying that for about 2 years now. And I said, Pat Finance has been jacked up for 2 years now. I mean, really bad. And she got a good job and everything. But I'm like, where's the money going? Daddy's like, help her, help. I'm like, Daddy, yo, I want to start with my money too. I was like, she ain't my kid. He said, help her. I'm like, all right. Right? And so when Alicia said that, I was like, Daddy, that's why Pat Finance is jacked up. Because I noticed the past 2 years, she kept saying it. Even Pat told her, stop calling me Miss Poor Pat. We all told her. She kept doing it. And I kept wondering why, right? But I told y'all I thought something was wrong with her, but I know. So the moment I realized that, I text Pat. I said, Pat, when I see you tomorrow, I got something to tell you about your finances. She was like, all right, right? So when I saw her the next day, which was about a week ago, I told her. And I brought her into praying. I told her what to pray because Daddy told me to tell her what to pray. She did it. Do you know her finances instantly started improving? She said to me the other day that she's all caught up on everything. And she ain't got that chokehold around her no more. It's finished. Within a couple, almost a week from the prayer that God told me to tell her to say, finances turned around. What? Then Alicia texted me again. I was in Pat's car. He was going somewhere. Light bulb went off again. God said, text her back and tell her Yama cursed her finances too. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Because my sister Alicia never has problems with money. But for the past year, issue after issue. And my son and daughter, if you listening, I forgot to text you, boo. God just reminded me. Even my son and daughter in the Lord, their finances for the past year have been really bad for the past year. And I kept asking God, I was like, God, why is their donations drop down to nothing? He ain't say nothing, right? So then, after I told Alicia, she already knew what to pray because my sister Alicia, she be on it. She be on it. And she be doing my prayers and stuff. So she got them. And then I always send her money to buy the book or I'll buy the book and send it to her. So I knew she was straight. So I didn't have to tell her anything. Right? So then after that, he said, and you need to contact your children in Florida and let them know why they've been having problems. Now the witch live in Florida too, right? I was like, so she was affected because I asked God, even with my sister Alicia, I noticed, I noticed stuff when y'all donations start decreasing really, really bad, or I'll talk to you guys, or y'all tell me, can you please pray? And I'm like, that's something ain't right, Daddy, because they don't normally ask for these kind of things, and their donations usually was, good, not saying when they get small, they're not good. I'm just saying bigger, and they never would ask me these kind of prayers, right? So, one of my sisters in the Lord, God just happened to tell me to ask her, what do you need prayer for? So she came back and she said, well, we need prayer to get some food. I was like, oh, heck no. I was like, Daddy, in all the years I known her, she ain't never say for me to pray for food. I said, Daddy, can I give her some money so she could get some food? And Daddy said, go ahead. And I gave her some money, and she was so grateful. Right? And I said, well, what's going on with her, Daddy? She ain't never asked me nothing. He says the same thing that was going on with Pat. I was like, are you serious? And I remember Pat told me that she think that the witch was following her too. And I'm like, okay. So me and my sis mode, my protective sis mode, I went into prayer, right? And I was like, Daddy, they ain't gonna have no problems with their finances no more, is they? He said, no. So this witch had been going after people who was following me. So that's why I be telling y'all all the time, y'all need to get my prayer books. Y'all need to be praying like any witches coming after Apostle, they ain't coming for me. You better cancel. I'm not saying, it's only a few of y'all. It's not a whole bunch of you. It's only the ones that I be calling out that they know I'm close to. they affect them more because they can't get to me. So they're just like if they knew all my kids, right? They knew all my children. If they knew some of my family members that secretly follow me, because I tell them do not announce themselves because of witches, right? But if they knew that they were there, I mean, and knew their name, they would be coming for them too. So they only gonna come for the ones that they notice that's close to me. So it's thousands of you that follow me, and so it's like literally a half of a percentage that they will go for. But just in case, you know, in any ministry you follow that you know that's anointed of the Lord, you should be praying that any witches that's following the ministry, you know, they won't affect me or the person that you're following or church you're going to, and that they won't affect you neither, because it's like we're family, and we are really family. We're children of the Most High, right? And God has made me your shepherd, and anywhere else you go, your shepherd. And God has made y'all. Thank you, Ebony, for your Cashapp, baby. God bless you a billionfold in Yeshua's name. And Ebony, God just gave me a word for you. If you listening to me, Ebony, things are going to get better for you, especially financially, and you're going to move. And when you move, you're going to be happy in Yeshua's name. And He's cutting off relationships that's toxic for you. If you listen to Ebony Barnes in Yeshua's name, He just gave me that. But anyway, you should be praying for me or anyone you following or any church you go to. And you should be praying for yourself and your own family. You know, that no effects from the ministry, from witches, warlocks, nefarious people of the enemy, you know, comes upon you or your family, or comes upon me and my family. Because I pray for y'all like that. It's thousands of you I don't even know. Haven't even said anything to me. Hasn't even donated. Then there's thousands of you that I do know and have donated. So God knows everybody who follows me, and God knows everybody who's truly in Him. So I always be like, Daddy, I call out names that I know, and ones that I don't know, I was like, Daddy, you know who they is, if they real or not. And I also be praying for the ones that ain't real, and they're witches and trying to infiltrate. So y'all should be praying the same thing, and that's with any ministry, not just mine. Any ministry, church, you know that's anointed. Like that man over there in Cape Town, Africa, John something. Y'all following him, right? Y'all need to be praying for him and yourself too, because he get a lot of which he probably get it way worse than I do. Because he, you know, got a physical church and he traveled, you know. So when you come across ministries or church that you see that's anointed and they do the things that I do, and the healings and all prophecies and all that stuff, you know that that is a target for the enemy, and you know they have a mafia of witches after them. You need to be covering them, just like we should be covering you. Remember, God said the master serves the servant and the servant serves the master. You need to be covering us as well as yourself, and our families as well as yourself. For real? Because when you do that, you're counteracting the enemy. You know, so, you know, when I realized that was happening to my sisters, I went in big mama sister mode. You know what I mean? So I was like, Daddy, I got to talk to people on the ministry and, you know, tell them how to start praying for themselves and their family as well as mine, and any other ministry that you may follow that you know that's anointed. You know, you got to cover that ministry and yourself, because if they can't get to that person, they will definitely try and get you. And you see how they got Pat and my two sisters. You know what I'm saying? So, and in the past, other people, you know what I mean? So, let that be a lesson to y'all. But I'm telling you, after I prayed for Pat, instantaneously. And I hope that for my other two sisters too. And see, y'all think I don't pay attention to y'all because there's so many of you, but guess what? I do pay attention to y'all. I notice when, if a donation gets low, or you barely donate, or when you start, if you got my personal phone number, you call me or text me, or if you know, hit me up on Facebook. A lot of y'all got my emails from when I used to do classes, you know, and I don't give my emails out because it's just too many witches. I used to give out my email all the time. I used to text every person back who donated to me. Sometimes I would sit there for an hour and I would email every person back a thank you, and they would have my email. And then witches started attacking me really bad, so God told me don't do it no more. So that's why and I used to have a website, ministry site, but somebody tried to hack that and they demand me to give them crypto. So I shut it down like two and a half years ago, and I never went back to get a new one. But it's not that I didn't have the money to have somebody do it. It's just that I just haven't done it. But I'm gonna try and hire somebody before this year is out to get a ministry site back, because people used to go there and send their prayer requests there. But now you could go to Prophetic Mantle and do a prayer request. People who follow me on my other Instagram, which is, what is it, Rosalind Solomon 71. Although I tell them not to, they send their prayers there and their dreams, you know. Now with the prayers, I don't always answer you back unless God give me a word. With the dreams, I'll tell you straight up, look, I'm not doing it. That anybody who follow me on Instagram, they will tell you, Apostle will tell you, I'm not going to God about this dream, because I told you no dream interpretations, right? And they be like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you wasn't, because you know you trying to be slick and you just got caught. I saw your pop. No, you ain't sorry. You just got caught. Now you sorry. So if you on my Instagram, my other Instagram, and you want to send me a prayer request, you can. And if the Lord tell me to tell you something, then I'll send it back. But if he doesn't, I won't. Because most people reach me faster on Instagram than Facebook, because I don't have Messenger on my phone, nor do I want it, because people be trying to video call me and everything. So I might not check my Facebook for a week, right? Or a couple of days. So if you want to get an instant prayer to me, you could subscribe to my Instagram. I gotta approve you. Make sure I can see your Instagram. If it's private, I'm going to delete it, period. So, you know, unblock your Instagram so I can see who you is, because I want to know who I'm following. And I'm not trying to follow everybody. I'm not trying to do that. All right, so I'm just letting y'all know that. And also on my threads, I do prophetic words a couple of times out the week. I think I got like 4 of them up there already, and some of them I might put under the community tab under this channel sometimes. So always check my community tab. Some people keep asking me, where can you find a picture of Yahushua Jesus? It's on my community tab. Just click community tab, stroll, you'll see it, or go to Prophetic Mantle or Rosalind Solomon's page, and you can see it there. Okay. All right, so here's these words that I got to give you all. Hold on. Oh, okay, some more people on here. Okay. All right, here we go. Wells Fargo. Well, I told y'all, it's in my, I believe it's in my prophecy book that's on Barnes & Noble's Prophetic, what's the name of it? Prophetic Mantle, Past, Present, and Future, all the way up from 2012 to 2022, I think. Right? But anyway, I told y'all about, I think it, what is this, 2023, 23, 22, 21, 2021, 20, I think 2019. No, what's it, 2019? It had to be 2017, 2018 or 2017. And I believe it's in my book. That Wells Fargo was going to collapse, and they were going to be brought out. Well, that's going to be happening very, very soon. Maybe it could be this year or next year. But Wells Fargo is about to be finished, because they had 5 years left from the time I told people. So if I told y'all in 2018, 19, okay, if I told you in 2018, because either 2017, 2018, 19, okay, we're in 5 years, 2023. So if it don't happen this year, it's going to be happening next year. Wells Fargo will collapse. And Chase Bank is not going to be trying to bail them out in the beginning. It's going to be a hot mess. It's going to be like a frantic thing going on. And then in the end, Chase Bank is going to help them. But I believe either Chase is going to take them or someone else is going to take them over, and they'll be gone. Right? It's going to happen suddenly. So it could be this year or next year. It's going to happen suddenly, out of the blue. Out of the blue, right? And God says Chase Bank is safe for now, but in the future, in maybe a couple of years, Chase Bank is going to fall as well. But hold on, y'all, real quick. Hold on. I'm making a YouTube video. You there? Okay, you get some sleep. Okay, what time you going to the wedding supposed to start? Okay, so text me before you go so I can send you some money to give to her for a gift. All right, love ya. Bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, there's a wedding happening in my family, and I was invited, but I ain't want to go. Because there's some family members there that I ain't seen in a long time, and we didn't get along. So I ain't want to chance that, because I'm a child of God now. I ain't going to fight you. I'm not going to curse you out no more. You know what I mean? I'm not going to turn myself to you no more. All right? So I'd rather just stay out of trouble. And they a bunch of sinners. And they ain't changed none. Because my daughter told me. So I'm like, I don't want to be around them. But she wants you to come. She need to understand. I have changed. Majority of them have not changed. And I don't want to get into no fight and have to beat somebody behind. And I'm Christian now. And then I got to go and repent. I don't want to have to beat nobody but. You know what I'm saying? Because I will defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm Christian now. And my daughter started laughing. She was like, Mommy, who booty you going to beat? She was like, you know, I'll fight for you, Mommy. I'm like, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. I'm just not going to go. I'm going to send her some money. And that's it. You know, because like tomorrow they going on a cruise, right? The wedding's tonight. And then tomorrow they going on a cruise, right? And I'm like, oh, heck no. I ain't going to be on no cruise with them. You know they going to be drinking, getting drunk, cussing, acting a fool, nasty dancing, whole 9 yards. I can't be around that. My daughter, she was just laughing at me. She was like, yeah, Ma, you right. You can't be around that no more. I would feel so uncomfortable. I'd be ready to look for a lifeboat and jump into it and swim back to shore. You know what I mean? So she was like, yeah, you right, Ma. Just send somebody. Because all of them, they eat this. Ain't not one of them. You know they be doing that nasty dancing nowadays. You know that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be couples there. You know, some of my family members bringing their spouses. But I ain't got no problem being a single person around couples. I love being around couples. You know, because I can sit down and talk to them about God and preach to them. But them heathens, I know if, and I told my daughter, I said, I know if I start preaching, it's going to be a problem. I know if I start calling out their sin, it's going to be a problem. They're going to try and beat me up. They're going to try and jump me. And we're not having that because the whole host of heaven will come down and whoop everybody butt. So we're not even going to go through that. Some of the angels might throw them off the boat, you know, because of me. So we ain't even going to go through that. We're not even going to go through that. And she's like, yeah, you right, Ma. She was like, we don't want nobody to get hurt. I'm for over you. I said, oh, me neither. Look, if you know your family, right? You know what you're dealing with. You know what you're working with. And you done found God. Ain't no need to even go around them if you know they ain't changed. Because you know stuff going to pop off. You know it. Because you can't sit there and watch them do all that sinning and you don't say nothing. And you know their souls ain't right. They could die at any moment. You know, you want to talk to them and you already know they full of liquor. You know, they're agitated. They don't want to hear about God. They just want to have a good... You already know what's going to happen. So you might as well not even bother to go. Just pray for them at a distance. That's right. Period, Ruby. Hey, Devontae, just pray for them at a distance. And they all want you to come. She talking about they want you to come. I bet they do. They ain't seen me in the month of Sunday. They want to see what it look like now. You know, they want to see. They want to see what I look like. They want to be in my business. They want to know what I'm doing now. They want to know where I'm living. They want to know what I'm up to. They want to know if I got married again or had more kids. That's what they want to know. They ain't finding out. And I told her, don't shut your trap. If they ask you anything, just tell them she's doing good in the Lord. She's like, well, I was planning on showing them your music video. And I was planning on showing them the picture of Yah. I was like, all right, you could do that. Then they could know I'm singing. They could know I'm preaching. But that's fine. Don't be telling them how to reach me. Mm-mm. All right. So I told y'all about Wells Fargo. So Chase will eventually be collapsing as well, but they have a good while before they start collapsing. I believe when Chase collapse, it's going to be the collapse of the entire monetary system, because the way God was telling me, Chase is probably the biggest bank. I mean, they do have Saudi Arabia banks here. They have the Arab Bank here in America, and they're worth a lot of money. But I'm saying, as far as banks in America, I believe Chase is probably the strongest of the strongest, because it started with Chase. The clearinghouse started with Chase. The Rockefellers was nowhere around. They came later on, and then they went into business with Chase, and they bought up everything. And small businesses could not even develop because of them. So people took them to court. They had a monopoly, so people took them to court, and the judge broke up the monopoly. So Chase and the guy from Europe, they had to start selling off and liquidating their assets, and they started to have to sell off their big businesses, and it gave a chance for small businesses to come in. So that's how small businesses came. Before a long time, Rockefeller and Chase, actually Chase had it for a long time, then Rockefeller came. Do you know the last time our country almost collapsed, like they almost was trying to do now? Chase was the one. He gave them $30 million, which would be $30 billion today. No, it was 103 million, which would be 100 billion right now, right, in our time. But it was 103 million that Chase gave them that saved America. So Chase got some big muscles right now. But God said, when Chase do fall in the future, that's going to be the end of the monetary system. Will the digital dollar come before then? Of course. It's already trying to come, right? But that will be the end of the monetary system, because it all started with Chase. Do your history like I did. Watch some history documentaries. You will learn it started with Chase, basically, and then Rockefeller, right? So when Chase fall, anything that the Rockefellers got in banking system is going to fall right along with it. Actually, their banking system in the UK may fall first, and then the Chase Bank. And once Chase Bank falls, the whole monetary system is done. It'll be brand spanking new, all digital. No more paper money. All digital. Smart cities controlling you, giving you universal checks, because all of the AI took your jobs. That's in my prophecy book too. That I said it. The AI, I told y'all the robots is going to take jobs. I told y'all it was only going to be a couple of banks left when it's all said and done. God kept telling me credit unions are, credit unions are very, very good to have an account. And if you could get a bank account in a credit union, you good. Because he didn't show me no credit unions collapsing anytime soon. So if you could get yourself in a credit union, if you're the military or you're associated with the military or the federal, what they got, Navy Federal and all of that, Delta, anywhere where you live, even in foreign lands, if you could get a bank account, this is not financial advice nor my guru. I'm just telling you what God said, because I listened to him. If you could get, because everybody can't get a credit union, and it's just not like that. But if you can, I know Delta Credit Union, anybody could go there and get a bank account as long as you don't owe any money anywhere, or you're not in the bad check system and all of that. You should be able to get it if you have a Delta bank, or if you have a bank something like a Delta Bank Credit Union. Because God kept giving me the word solvency with some, not to say all credit unions have solvency. Few may fall, but that's what he told me, right? And it seems to have been proven, because we don't hear about credit unions yet. You know what I mean? Okay, I had to look this up. I thought it was a bank first, but I looked it up. He kept giving me the initial L, capital L. Kept saying this platform was going to fall. And I kept saying platform, so I Googled it, and I said, what is L Bank, right? And it didn't come up as a bank. Guess what it came up as? A crypto platform. I was shocked. I never heard of this. I listened to Brother Johnny. I listened to TC. Maybe about, what's his name? Stock Up with Larry. Stock Up with Josh. Keenan Grace sometimes. Matthew Perry. And a few others, right? And I never heard any of them talk about, even my brother in the Lord. He's very knowledgeable. He can make a YouTube channel himself on stocks and stuff, right? I never heard any of them say anything about a L bank cryptocurrency platform. Have y'all ever heard of it? Have y'all ever heard of L crypto platform? Marcus, have you ever heard of it? He did? Okay, I never heard TC talk about that. He had to have talked about that before I started following him the past year and a half. Because I never heard of it. I just Googled it. And I was shocked. It said it was a crypto bank platform, something like that. Well, guys, if you got anything, this is not financial advice, nor my guru, but if you got any type of coins or something on there, you might want to go to God and pray about it, because I don't know when it's going to fall, but it's going to fall. That platform, I only help people that God lead me to help. I just don't pick random people to help. I only help who God lead me. So I don't know who you are. So obviously God hasn't told me to help you, because I don't even know who you are. And I'm sorry, you know. Send me something on Facebook about yourself. Give me your name, where you live, your address, and I will pray. And if God tell me to send you a little something, I will. But if he don't, then I won't. That's how we deal with it. You just can't come on here and tell me you broke and ask me to send you money. It don't work like that, honey. You see this? You see this right here? You see this? We all, this right here is attached to God. I don't make no moves without God. I don't make no moves without God. So go to Facebook, full name, address, where you're from, what's your situation, and I will pray. And if he tell me to send you a little something, he'll give it to me, and I'll send it to you. If not, but I pray that your financial situation gets better, all right? And I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot fool me. You cannot deceive me, nor take advantage of me, because my daddy will tell me if you're lying. All right? Letting you know now. Because some people take advantage of you, y'all. They'll see a minister or church helping people financially, and I'm not saying this person, and they'll lie and pretend like they need money. You know what I mean? I'm going to school y'all something before I finish. Do you know how many times people have Facebooked me, Instagram me, and a few who knew me lied to me, told me they needed money, they was going through this, they were hungry, went to daddy. Like one young man, he asked me, and I knew him well, and he stopped following me because of it. He showed me his heart. He said he needed $900 to pay his rent, else he was about to get evicted. I said, all right, because I knew him. And y'all know him too, but I ain't going to say his name. And I said, all right, let me go pray and talk to God. God said no, instantaneously. And then the Lord said, when you tell him, I said, no, you'll never hear from him again. Do you know it's been 2 years? He don't show up on my YouTubes, my Facebooks, or nothing, just like God said. So see, you see this right here? You ain't deceiving me, because my daddy is with me. And all of you who are true to the Lord, he with you too. All you got to do is ask him, and he'll answer you how he will. And he'll show me in a vision. I said, Dad, show me in my sleep. What should I? He'll show me. So I'm letting you know. Don't be trying to take advantage of a sister, because y'all know that I'm a giver. Because God, I can tell you, quite a few people have done it. And he to tell me, no, they're lying. They're deceivers. They're trying to take advantage of you. And a lot of them, that's why you don't see some people following me no more. Because when he tell me that, I block they butt. I block them on here, and I'll block them on Facebook. That's why, because some people are like, what happened to so-and-so? I'm like, well, they just left. I don't get all into the logistics, because you don't need to know that. I just feel like they left. But I know why they really left, because God told me not to help them, and I blocked them. And then some of them I didn't help them, and they got mad. So, when somebody asks you for help and you can't help them, and because God says so, if they was really for you, they would understand. They wouldn't stop following you. They would understand. They'd be like, okay, if God told you not to do that, then he told you not to do that for a reason. You know what I mean? Like this one lady, she mailed me, I think it was $40, right? And she admitted in the letter, she said, this is only my second time ever sewing. She said, because all my money goes to my rental storage, because her house had got foreclosed on and she put all her storage in it. And she's like, all my money go to my storage, and all my money goes to my rent, and I only live off of $250 a month, and that doesn't even make it through the month. Right? So sometimes people will write me stuff like that, hoping that I will send them something. But I don't do that. Only sometimes, right? I'll pray. But this lady, I was reading her letter, and my heart just was like, wow. And I was like, Daddy, I know she telling the truth. And he said, yes, she is. And I asked him, I said, can I send her some money? Can I send her some money back? Because I just got a nice size donation from somebody. And I was like, can I send her some money? And the Lord said, yes. So then I called Pat. I said, Pat, come give me the tomorrow, so I could send somebody some money. She was like, okay, Daddy said it. We going to do it. So I went to the post office, and I sent her some money. And I told her why. Because I asked God, and God said yes. And I know she's going to be shocked. And Daddy showed me her face. When she opens up the envelope, she going to be in tears. She's going to be in tears because nobody has done anything for her in a long time. And she's going to be in tears. Now, see, I instantly knew, and see, God is allowing me to share this with y'all. He just told me to tell y'all. I instantly knew in my heart she wasn't trying to scam me. Because some people write you with these scammy stories. They'll donate a little hoping, you'll send them something. I'll be like, Daddy, they lying, ain't they? Daddy be like, yes. I said, Daddy, why did they betraying me? They know you gonna tell me. They know, and they know I ain't gonna do nothing unless I ask you. And let me tell you something. I ain't gonna part with my money unless he tell me to. I don't easily part with my money. For those of you who think I do, I don't. It's because he tell me. And sometimes he would tell me to give money. And Pat will tell you, she'll be sitting right there. I'll be crying. I'll be like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Because I wanted to do so-and-so, right? And I'll be like, Daddy. And he knew it. Like Psalms 126, sowing in tears, right? And then the moment I do it, he turn around and bless me like double, triple, quadruple. I'll be laughing and happy. And I hear him say, see, being obedient to your papa is the best thing. That's what he told me. And from now on, I don't fight with him. No, I don't box with him because his arms is too big for mine. I just do what he said. You know what I mean? Because for a purpose and a reason, right? So don't think because I part with my money like I do, you can take advantage of me. Because trust me, I'm a smart one. I'm very sharp. I'm very intelligent, and I got high discernment, and I can tell when somebody's BSing me. I'm sorry, I said BS. I didn't curse, but I said BSing me. All right, or be messing me. All right, I know. And then if I don't know, I ask my Father, and He will tell me. And y'all should do the same thing. When people come to y'all asking you for help, family member, friend, y'all need to wait on God. Don't just be so eagerly to give it to them because you think you're going to be a blessing, because that could be the devil sending them to curse your money. So you need to sit down and just be like, you know what? I got to ask God if I could give you this money because my money is God's money. And it's true. Your money is God's money. I don't care who you work for, where the money come from. It's God's money, right? It's God's money. So you tell him, I got to sit down and talk to God first. I got to meditate with God and see. But it's emergency. Okay, I know I'm going to do it right now. But I'm telling you, God might take a couple of days before he tell me. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, if you need some food, I got some food refrigerator down there in the freezer. I can give you that. Hold you out. You know what I mean? But you should pray. You should seriously pray. When I'm out on the street, if sometimes people ask me for money, right then and there I'll be like, gosh, I give it to him, I hear him instantly. Or he'll give me a feeling in my heart if I should do it or not. Sometimes I'll be standing in the grocery line. He'll say, you see that lady behind you? Or you see that man behind you? He was like, give him, and then I give it to them and they start crying. And all the time, they always tell me they needed it. A lot of times, people will have a few things in their cart And he'll say, get him so-and-so, right? I turn around to him. I'll be messing with him. We're like, you believe in Jesus? You believe in Yeshua Jesus? They be like, I sure do. I said, well, he told me to give you this. And they be like, I was like, And they start crying. And they're like, can I hug you? I be like, oh boy, here we go. so they hugging me and I'm praying at the same time. And then a lot of times they'll tell me, especially ladies and elderly ladies, or the young ladies, they'll be like, I wanted to buy so much more, but I couldn't because I only had like $25 on my debit card. I've literally seen it. Pat, I can tell you this. After I give somebody the money, they go back and go shopping. They go back and go shop. God told me to give somebody some money. She was putting a little bit of groceries in the back of her SUV. And I don't even got a car. All right? And he said, give her a little money. I'm like, Daddy, I don't even got a car. She got a nice SUV. He said, you don't know what she going through. He said, give it to her. So I gave it to her. Do you know she put her little groceries in the back of the car? And she said, because of you and God, I can go back in the grocery store and get what I really need. She went back in the grocery store. And then one lady told me, she was like, my tank was on E. And I prayed to God that this little bit of gas could get me to the grocery store so I could spend what I had on my food stamps. And then this little bit of gas to get me back. And here you come. With some money and for some gas. I mean, I could write a book. Pat could probably write a book about all the times she's seen what God, and he'll use her sometime. He doesn't use her a lot because you know her situation, but it's getting better, so he'll maybe start using her more. But she witnesses a lot, so she could write a book if I didn't write one on giving alone, on Rosalind Solomon's giving. Oh, not actually my giving. Yahweh God and Rosalind Solomon's giving. You know, yeah. So you have to. But when people see that you're a giver like that, and they see God uses you like that, a lot of scammers come. People you know and you don't know. So you have to always pray and ask God. Like some of y'all, when y'all coins and stocks or whatever investments you have pop off, right? People gonna smell your money. They gonna smell it. They gonna smell it. People you ain't talked to in a long time, they gonna smell it. They gonna smell it. They gonna smell it. And then it's like a shark, because sharks are blind. So they got sensors that lead them right to the blood, right? So they gonna be led right to where you at with their hands out, coming up with all kinds of excuses, sob stories, scammer stories. Well, where were you when I ain't had no food? Really? Come on now. Did I come to you with a scammer story? So you're gonna have to pray for you just want to know that we found tapeworm eggs in my daughter's food. That's what God said yesterday. Didn't y'all hear that? She had asked me about her baby. Every time my baby ate, her tummy hurt, and God said tapeworms. They found tapeworms. Oh my goodness, glory to God. So now she could get some healing. Always knew you were the real deal. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, praise the Lord. Now that baby girl could get some healing. See, that's why he had me come on, because I wasn't gonna come on there yesterday. Before I went, he was like, go on there, somebody need healing. I was like, who? He said, you'll see. And it was a few of y'all, because he know me. Rosalind be strutting. Rosalind be like going. She be gone. And sometimes I don't want to come on here. He be like, go on there and pray for people. I'm like, really? Who need prayer, Daddy? I be playing with him. He said, go on there. Somebody needs some healing. I'm like, all right. Or he'll be like, somebody needs some uplifting. Or somebody needs you to get him some money. Like I do sometimes when he on Facebook. I'm like, all right, Daddy. I'm like, you going to give me this money back, right, Daddy? Because you know I had plans for this. And I know he just be like, this girl, she's always giving me issues. She's giving me problems every time. But I'm going to tell you something. I know God loves when I give him issues and I give him problems, because they're good issues and good problems. And it makes him laugh. Because in order for me or any of you to have a sense of humor, God has to have one first. So I'm sure I have him rolling in his throne chair. And Mama and Yeshua. Because sometimes how I talk to him, I know he'd be like, she got the audacity to say that. I'll be like, Daddy, I'm about to tell you this. Because you know everything. So I can't lie. I'm about to tell you this. And if you get mad at me, please don't get mad at me, because I'm sorry already. But Daddy, you know, you got to be real with the Father. You got to be real with him, you know. And then then sometimes when he be doing stuff, he be like, yo, Dad, what you doing? What you doing? Let's talk about this. You know, and he loves when we do that. Because we're being open and we're being real. Long as you respect him and honor him as God, you can come to him. What the Bible say? Come to me just as you are. And anything that's wrong with you, he gonna fix it. And if he don't like something you said, trust me, he gonna tell you. Because every time I say something, he said, why you say that? And I'm like, cause don't say that again. Like I be telling Pat, I spell it now. But I be telling you, I used to tell you, you getting on my last nerve. and she'll bow her head down like a kid. I sorry. And I'm like, you're not sorry because you keep getting on my last nerve, right? So I went home. I was praying. And Daddy was like, why do you tell her she gets on your last nerves? I said, because she do, Daddy. And you know I'm honest and raw. He said, I don't like when you say that to her. Stop telling her that. I said, so then what am I supposed to say when she gets on my last nerve? He said, you tell her what she said you don't like and it bothers you and don't do it again. So when I started doing that, guess what? She stopped doing whatever it was I didn't like. So then and then he told me, you have to approach her the same way. Tell her anything that you do that she don't like. She's supposed to tell. Why did I do that, y'all? she like, you know you always scolding me, sister. I'm like, no, I don't. You just be doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, and somebody need to tell you, right? I know, sis, but no buts. Somebody need to straighten you out. What kind of sister would I be if I didn't tell you? Then she'd be like, yeah, you right. And then I'll say, what is it you don't like about me? And then she'll go, there's nothing I don't like about you. I said, yeah, I know it's something. I said, because, sometimes my voice is high pitched. So sometimes when she's bothering me, I'd be like, you know what? Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Right? Then she'll want to talk about it. And I'm like, but I did not tell you I don't want to talk about it no more. So then I had to stop doing that. I was like, you know what? Okay, I don't want to talk about it, but she may want to talk about it. So I have to let her express herself. So I changed this last 2 years. I let her express herself. But sometimes, Sister Pat, when she's telling you a story, she goes forever. And I have to reel her in. I'm like, okay, get to the point. I'm getting it. No, get to the point. So God, he changed me on how I deal with her, when because she's like, she got this mama spirit. She can't help herself. She got this mama spirit. She think I'm her daughter. I don't know why. I'm her sister, but she treats me like I'm her daughter. She really does. Sometimes she tries to speak for me, and I look at her like, could you slow your roll, please? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be like, can you catch yourself? She's like, I'm sorry. So, sometimes when she gets in that Mother Hubbard mode, that irritates me because my mom's in Florida. You know what I mean? Right? So, God, he works on me to be better toward her and better toward my kids, because they used to get on my last nerve. So some of y'all know what I'm talking about, and when you got that last nerve, it's about to go. So you got to ask God to help you deal with people so they won't get on your last nerves and you won't say that no more, because it can hurt people's feelings when you say that. So, but sometimes I be spelling it. I be like, you know what? N-E-R. I tell her, sis, N-E-R-V-E. She like, okay. She's like, all right. Okay, I'm good. Yes, it's showing off with all these miracles and what's Ebony, did you just hear? I gave you, you sent me a Cashapp, right? And I blessed it. And God gave me a word from you in the beginning of here. So if you didn't hear it, when it's finished, come back and listen. All right, let me hurry give you this word because I want to go cook because I'm hungry. All right, and I only got 2 bars left. All right, so I told y'all about Wells Fargo and Chase. So Citibank. I don't even see no Citibanks down here. I see Citibanks where I'm from, Jersey, New York, right? Citibank used to be so big, you could go to Manhattan. It might still be there. I'm not sure, but I haven't been to Manhattan when I went home the last time, which was in 2021. Yeah, I didn't go home last year. I went to PA. Yeah, I think it was 2021. And I think they still had those 5 ATMs right next to each other. So Citibank is going to collapse too. But the Lord didn't tell me if anybody was going to pick them up or not. I think Citibank may just be finished. That's what I'm thinking, because the Lord didn't tell me if anybody was going to pick them up, right? And also that L Bank platform, the crypto platform, y'all need to pray to God about that, because that's going to be gone. I don't know when, but it's going to be gone, right? Um, there's also going to be problems with Japan. Their monetary system is going to be interrupted. Do they have a Wall Street in Japan? It's just like that, like a Wall Street thing going on. And I don't know if they got a Wall Street in Japan, but it's like their monetary system is going to erupt, and it's going to affect us over here. It's going to affect our monetary system. So if they got a Wall Street, then their Wall Street is going to affect ours. But I don't know when that's going to happen, right? And then I also heard Asian land. So it may happen in another Asian land as well. I've been talking about the brick banking system. Y'all know who got my prophecy book. It's in there. I've been telling y'all since 2015 about Russia, Iran, and China, and Turkey, and Pakistan, and India, how they all gonna be in the brick system. I've been saying this. Nobody else was even saying this, but God was saying it to me. Right now, a lot of people say, but all of you who got my book, and if you don't have Prophetic Mantle, Past, Present, and Future from 2012, 2022, go on Barnes and Nobles to get it. Put an Apostle Rosalind Solomon, or Rosalind Solomon, or Prophetess Rosalind Solomon. You'll see it's in there. So that all of y'all who have that book can attest to it, right? And then I told y'all last week, the Lord said that Russia, China, and another country was going to shock the nations, and they're doing it, right? But the brick nation, brick system, banking system is coming upon us, and now Turkey's going to be rising up, and Japan is going to eventually join that brick system as well, and I believe Korea is either North. I don't know if it's South Korea, maybe North Korea, that joins that, right? Okay, and now also speaking of Korea, I've been telling y'all for years, like God gave me the time frame when his father was going to die, and the Lord said that he would be dead before December was out in 2011, and the father died. Now the son was supposed to die about 5 to 7 years later, but so what is this, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, but he didn't, but he disappeared, and I think they might have switched them out. Y'all know what I mean by that. But this one, the Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, we are going to hear about him leaving this world. If not this year, either I would say it would be between 2023 and 2025. So it can happen anytime. 2023 to 2025, we're going to hear in the news that he's no longer with us, and there's a new power. But what's going to happen is, God said, when that happened, a lot, because I always you should pray for those people in North Korea, because y'all just don't know the stuff they go through. I watch documentaries, God prays, and there's Christians hitting there, and if they find a Bible, the whole family go to prison, even the baby, right? It's terrible, right? So when he dies, it's going to give an opportunity to a lot of those North Koreans to cross the border to South Korea. It's going to be like an exodus. I'm telling you. Now, y'all know it's in my book. I had a vision where I was watching the escalators. On one side, South Korea was going up, and on one side, North Korea was coming down, and North Korea was going on the escalator up. And then I saw, what was the name of the country? It was called the South America. It was either South. It was like South American Korean lands, or it was like it has something in it to do with America. I don't know if it was America's name in it, but it has something. They changed the name They combined South Korea and North Korea together, and they were one name. But I can't remember it, right? But when he passes away, God's going to use, see, he's the stronghold. The Kim Jong-un guy, he's the stronghold. He's the one that's keeping the two countries from coming together. Once he's removed, it's unstoppable. So there's going to be a great exodus, because I saw it years ago, and it's in my book, that many North Koreans are going to go straight across the border. Even some of the soldiers are going to take their families, entire families, and go across the border. And South Korea is going to accept them, because they know that they're their brothers and sisters, and they're going to accept them. So it's going to be like a mass exodus whenever this Kim Jong dies between now and 2025. A great exodus. And see, in South Korea, they got a lot of Christians, and they have a lot of undercover Christians in North Korea, but they can't like read the Bible, and they go in underground places and worship. Some people from South Korea get on boats, and they have balloons, and they put scriptures in the balloons and let them float, so some of the people can get it. And but when they catch them doing it, they take them prisoners. You know, it's sad. But I've been praying for those people in North Korea for years, right? Because God loves them, and he wants them. And a lot of them are a lot of them are brainwashed now, you know, thinking he's God, the Kim Jong-un. But when push comes to shove, he's gone, and they realize there's a true God. A lot of them are going to come to God. He told me that. So you're going to see a great exodus over there, and that's in my prophecy book, but he said it again, so it's going to be coming soon between now and 2025, before 2025 is over. Now, Nigeria, Africa. Whoa. The Lord said many will come to God's judgment in Nigeria, because you know Nigeria is the Negro land. Nigeria is the Negro land. That's where a lot of the Nubian tribes and tribes we're from come from, right? So that was once daddy's spot, you know what I mean? So he's about to bring a great judgment on Nigeria because of the great sin and corruption. And y'all know he always give me prophecy about Africa and a lot of nations, and it comes to pass. So he's going to be judging the wicked, the corrupt people, the governments, and all that follow them. He said they will reap what they have sown all these decades. They will reap the evil. He said many of them will fall in leadership and non-leadership for going against his righteous. So you know Nigeria it used to be 97% Islamic, just like India, and only 3%, you know, of other type of religions, and I think one out of that 3%, 1% Christians, right? But it's, you know, better now. It's about 75% Islamic, and then you got Christians and other stuff, right? So a lot of Christians in Nigeria, you know, depending on what part you live in. If you live in Abuja, you know, the nice places, they have Christian churches. But a lot of people that live in the villages, in the remote places that might want to serve God, you know, these militants and stuff like that, and their governments is giving them a hard time to preach for God. And then a lot of people become Muslims because they want to live, but they really want to serve the one true God. But they become Muslims because they want to live. And then they kidnap all these girls and marry them and make them Muslims when they were Christians. Y'all remember the Christian schools, the Boca Raton and all of that, right? So they gonna get it too. A lot of those militants and stuff like that. God is going to be doing a big judgment in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, but especially Nigeria. And we're going to see this. The whole world is going to see it. He going to use weather to be taking him out. He going to use his own people to take him out. He going to be sending angels to remove them. He going to do it. And we're going to see it. Now, he says South Africa. And when he said South Africa, I thought of the John, I can't say his last name, the African preacher over there in Midland, Cape Africa, where some of the biggest white sharks you ever want to see, like that one I dreamt about in the water, right? He said that he's raising up South Africa and North Africa. But first, South Africa will be raised up first. We're going to see great glory of God. We're going to see trailblazer fire of the Holy Spirit rising up. And he may be a part of that and others over there too, pastors. But we're going to see that in South Africa. And then you're going to see it in North Africa. Then you're going to see it in West Africa. It's going it like I saw it like a triangle. South Africa, North Africa, and then West Africa. They were going to be on trailblazing fire of glory of God. Many souls will be saved. It will spread like a green bay tree or like wildfire, the glory of Yahweh. God said nothing will stop him. Trails blazing fire, the holy Ruach Kadesh. South Africa, North Africa, and West Africa. And by the time he gets through judging Nigeria, glory fire is going to come out of there too. Glory fire is going to come out of there too. All right. Y'all remember last year, I had a vision about monkeypox, right? And monkeypox did come in California, but that wasn't the monkeypox God was telling me about, because he told me that. A virus. Now, y'all remember I warned y'all about the COVID virus, but I didn't know it was COVID. I just told y'all a virus was coming that was going to kill millions. And that the enemy was going to try and bring the book of Revelations to pass. And it was going to seem like it. But in the end, God's going to stop him. And boy, does it seem like it. Everybody keep talking about we're in Revelations and y'all coming any day. And I keep saying, Daddy, it sure do seem like y'all coming any day. But I stand on your word, because I'll never forget it. You told me it was going to seem like the enemy was getting away with it. But in the end, you was going to stop him, because it was not yet time. And he already doing some stuff we seeing now. He's stopping. But the enemy ain't stopping. So there's monkeypox. Like the vision I saw last year, I saw a bunch of people with it. But it happened in California. Only 5 or 7 got it. So and that happened like a couple of weeks later. But that's not the one he's talking about. This monkeypox is going to be so bad. People are going... Remember I told you I had a vision of people having boils last year or the year before? The Lord gave me a vision. I saw people with boils all over their body. They couldn't come outside. They couldn't move. They was in such agony. Monkeypox is going to be so bad. And some people, it's going to be all up in their mouth, God forbid, in their ears, hair. It's going to be awful. But God said it's going to be a remedy for it. But they're going to come out with some kind of vaccine. If they don't have it already, they're going to use that, or, make it better, potent. But God said that there's going to be a natural remedy for it. What that remedy is going to be, I don't know. But when that time happened, I guess he's going to tell people. He could tell me, I don't know. Or he's going to, but I can't come on his YouTube and say it, because they'll be like medical misinformation, trying to shoot me down in the video. God forbid. His name, right? So I might have to say that in secret if he did ever tell me that. Like the prayer he gave me, I couldn't say it on here no more because I was getting in trouble. So I had to write it in my book about how to repent for getting the juice. You know what I'm saying? And when me and Pat meet people, we be telling them about it and they repent. Right? They repent and they be thinking me. And if she tell people, they be thinking her, or she'll tell them, she'll always mention me. I used to tell her, don't mention me. But God said, don't tell her that. Let her mention you. Because I might want the person to come to you or follow you. I'm like, all right. And Sister Pat will tell you, I don't like people knowing who I am. I don't. I don't like them to know that I'm an apostle or I'm a singer or a book writer. I just don't like it, because it's like when people find out who you are, they're like all over you. They don't want to leave you alone. And sometimes I just don't want that. I don't. I don't. And she'll be talking, oh, she's a singer. She's a gospel jazz singer. She's a prolific writer. I'm like, will you shut up? She's like, what? You're supposed to let people know? If God wants them to know, he'll let them know. But then Daddy said, stop it. If she wants to say who you are, let her. Because I may want you to help that person. I'm like, all right, Daddy, I'm very, very sorry. I have to come out of myself and come in you. Because, sometimes we come out of ourselves, and we got to come in God. We got to come in God. Hey, Brother Mario, how you doing, sweetie? How's your wifey doing? Let us love. I know, right? Let you love on me. That's a good one, Alicia. Okay, I'll let you love on me. All right, so the monkeypox is going to come, and it's going to be bad. And Daddy said it cannot be stopped. But we could pray like we did with the virus that came, and what was it, January? Well, by March 2020, it was full blown, right? All right, so pray, and, cover yourselves. Stand on Psalms 91. Cover your families like we did. Now, some of our family members did, like my nephew, they say he died from COVID and a stroke. But Daddy said he really died from the stroke. And he was only 33. And he had went blind and everything. He's the only one, praise God. I mean, I'm sad he's gone. Because his father's dead too. But his father died years before. Of, my brother died, I think, of aneurysm. And that used to run in my family in the men. And Daddy had me stomp that out real quick, right? And my brother was like in his 30s, and my nephew died in his 30s. I was like, Daddy, I think that's a curse. I said, Daddy, I got to break that because my brother got 5 other kids, right? And I don't want none of them dying in their 30s neither. So I had broke that curse. But he was the only one, and I have a big family. So he was the only one, right? But some of y'all had family members that passed away. Even some of y'all had got the COVID. And some of y'all was almost dying. And God had me pray for you. And y'all survived. And I even prayed for some of y'all family members that was in the hospital dying. And they walked out of the hospital. So y'all know God is real. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be like that with the monkeypox. People could die from the monkeypox if it doesn't get treated the right way. So start praying now that you and your family is covered, like we did when the virus came in 2020, right? Even your heathen family, ask God to have mercy on them. Warn your family that this is coming, and this is time that they need to get closer to the Lord. You know what I mean? And when it does hit and we start seeing it, we just have to pray for healing for the people, that no one dies. You know what I mean? And when we find out people might be in the hospital suffering because of it, just like with the COVID, when that came, we got to pray. That's just what all we could do. And whoever he gives this natural remedies to, whoever people he give it to, I'm sure they ain't going to be coming on here unless it's a doctor. Because doctors can say it, and even some of them got to be careful. Because they could be shut down. I know I won't be coming on here saying it, or Facebook. If God give it to me, I'll do like a conference call and tell y'all, yo, I'm doing a teaching, and we're going to be talking about so-and-so. And then y'all could come on there, and then I could tell it there. If I'm one of the ones he say it to. Because he had told me a lot of stuff when the virus came. And in the beginning, I was able to say it. But then when they started getting tight on stuff, I had to start putting it in prayer books and stuff and telling y'all on the down low. That's the world we live in. We got freedom of speech, but if the company is a privatized company, they can make their own laws. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nigeria is scammer central. Not everybody in Nigeria is a scammer, but it is scammer central. Ooh, just like Mexico is a robber central, kidnapping central, but not everybody there is like that, right? So start praying about the monkeypox right now. And any other virus that could be coming, because the devil got tricks up his sleeve. So just pray about against any other virus, and especially monkeypox, right? Okay. There's going to be a leader in Japan. Because I remember last year I saw a leader leaving, and they killed that ex-president. Right, so now there's another one in Japan. I don't know if it's the president of Japan or vice president or X one, but there's going to be a leader, and the Lord is telling me that he is going, like they're going to hijack him somehow. Maybe he could be in his car, in his house, whatever, and they're going to hijack him and assassinate him. And I saw that a leader being assassinated before. Y'all remember that? And that ex-president over there, I think he got assassinated last year, right? Or the year before. something like that. Right? So we're going to see that. And I already told you about the Korean leader. And I told you they would be reunited. It's in my book. Also, God just reminded me. Taiwan, it's going to be Taiwan, China, Turkey, Japan, Arab nations, North Korea before he dies, and India, and other lands that are going to the system with Russia. Then the Lord said, in these same countries, Turkey, Japan, China, Taiwan, the Arab nations, Korea, and India, are going to be awoken. And other Arab lands as well are going to be awoken to the one true God, Daddy. He included Egypt as well. That's why he said Arab lands. Pakistan too. Are going to be woken to the one true God. But y'all remember when I was on here a couple of weeks and Daddy started speaking to me? It was very, very powerful. I couldn't remember a lot of it, but I went back and I listened to it. And I remember at the end of it, God said the salvation door would soon be closing. And I asked him, I said, but Daddy, you said the enemy wasn't going to get away with it. And he said he not. He said, but the salvation door will be closing soon. I said, well, how soon? We talking what, 50 years, 100 years? He didn't say anything. He just kept telling me salvation door is going to be closed soon. So I started thinking and meditating. I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out. I said, he must want me to figure out on my own what he mean. Okay, this is what he mean. Okay. Although the enemy trying to bring stuff to pass before it's time and God going to stop him and it's not yet time, it doesn't mean that the time won't be for 25 years or 5 or 10 years, right? So basically what God is saying is, all right, you know in the Bible it says that God sends his angels to seal his righteous ones first before they do anything else, right? Now we don't know the time frame of that. God could send the angels 25, 50 years prior to the third coming of Messiah, because we already know them came twice already, right? God could send the angels like 50 to 100 years, 25 years before the Messiah even come to seal us. And then what I got from God was he already know who is his and who's going to stay his. He already know who is his child. And he already know who's going to fail him and who's not going to fail him. He already know who's going to stay with him and who's not going to stay with him. So he can send his angels to seal up those righteous ones way ahead of time. He can also send his angels to seal up those righteous ones ahead of time so you'll stay righteous. Because once he puts his seal on you, and we already got his seal, but obviously there's a second seal. Because the Bible says the angels are going to do it. So once he puts that second seal on you, you couldn't go back if you even wanted to. Because once he sealed you, that's it. That's it. Just like in the Bible, in days, once the Antichrist seals the people, ain't no coming back from that. Right? So God could send an angel to seal up his people who's here at that time or now, to make sure we stay that way, and because he know it, right? So then I started thinking, I was like, okay, so the angels have already come, or they're about to come, because God says salvation door is not going to be open much longer, and they're going to seal whoever they need to seal, and then there's another remnant that's coming, that God's given a chance to come, because the Lord told me, these countries I just told you, plus the Arab nations, the door is very narrow for these countries. So pray many make it through. Pray many make it through. That's his exact words. So these people in these countries I just told you, and the Arab lands, which are many, Jordan, all of them, their door is very narrow, guys, and it's about to close. So whoever in these countries and in these Arab lands don't make it through the door, they never will. Even if they die and be reincarnated again, because everybody's reincarnated basically where you come from. You could be down the block, 10 blocks away, another part of the country, but you're still going back there. So no matter how many times they come back, because you know the enemy got a lot to do with the reincarnation thing. No matter how many times they come back, they'll never make it to God. In this lifetime we're in right now, the door is very narrow for these countries, and it's many of them, especially the Arab lands, are very narrow. How narrow? One don't know. So God told me to tell y'all, and you need to tell your families too, because we are our brother's keeper and our sister keeper. Pray for Turkey, China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, the Arab nations, which are many, and India. Because their doorway is very narrow. And when God said that, it gave me chills. I was like, wow. So he made me understand about the seal. So the angels are, some of us may already be sealed with the seal of God. Because I know I ain't looking back. I ain't looking back. I told Daddy, if I ever look back, take me out. I don't want to be out of there. Just take me. If you even see me trying to creep back, just take me. Take me home. Because I don't want to lose you. Take me home. I mean, I don't want to lose you. Because he'll see you falling before you do. And he do that. He has taken people off the earth because he saw them falling and he didn't want them to be incarnated again. And he took them. He took them. So pray for these countries because their doorway is very, very, very narrow. Some will make it through, but I don't know how many. I pray a bunch of them make it through. But please, put that in your prayer. Right? And then the Lord said, God said he will be giving his children supernatural powers to do his kingdom work. So a lot of us, like some of us already got some supernatural powers. You know what I mean? But a lot more is about to get supernatural powers. I saw him. I mean, he showed me women and men. And I saw all these witches and voodoo and juju, all nefarious workers of the enemy, different kind. And the witches stood out to me because every time I see a witch, a lot of times he'll show me with the witch hat and the gear and all this stuff, and they'll have a wand. I've seen witches in my dreams on brooms, and they really do work with brooms. Go ask anybody in Africa. They work with brooms and they fly on them. Okay, they fly on them, right? And I seen God's people just taking them out because they didn't want to repent. God had gave them a chance to repent and they didn't want to do it. All of a sudden, thunder and lightning started coming out of the sky, and then God's people, I saw like electric currents coming out of their hands. I saw fire coming out of their mouths. I saw fire coming out of them, and they was just taking these evil, nefarious workers out. And I heard God's voice as clear as day. He said, because they would not repent, nor relent, nor stop coming after my righteous children. So we may know or we may not know. But a lot of these, and I ain't gonna just say witches, I'm just gonna say any nefarious worker of Yadabath, a lot of them about to be taken out. He done gave them years, decades to get right and stop. And I saw God's people doing it. You should have seen the fire coming from them, especially their mouth. Some of them would just say a word, pow, fire, boom, gone. Some of them would look up to the sky and say something. And even some of them had rods in their hands like Moses. And they would lift them up, boom, God striking them. The witches. and the nefarious people. I was like, what? And I told y'all before that God said he was going to be giving a lot of his children these kind of powers. I told you this before, years ago. Might even be in my book. I'm not sure. So it could be a lot of y'all on here. You know what I mean? A lot of these witches and these warlocks and wizards and nefarious people, they about to be taken out. And I ain't happy about it. I'm just saying. If you would have saw what I saw, you would have been excited too, in a sense, because of the power, you know. But it's sad, you know, that all of these kind of people going to be just dying suddenly, you know, because they don't want to get right. They don't want to stop their evilness. You know, they don't want to come to God. You know what I mean? And the reason why a lot of them don't even come to God, because when you become, especially a witch, when you become a witch, warlock, wizard, whatever, voodoo, juju person, what happens to you is your spirit is still connected to your lifeline that's like somewhere back here in the spirit realm, right? So what happens was they have to remove your spirit. They got to keep your soul in order to keep you alive on the earth, right? And your soul holds all your emotions and senses, right? So what they do is they remove the spirit and they either chain it up in one of these rims, because they got millions of them, under the sea, in the forest, in the wilderness. Heck, they could put them in a tree. You know, they could put them in the nether world, which is the world of the dead. The abyss is under that, right? Or they could put them in the marine kingdom. They could put them somewhere up in the sky, because there's so many different rims and different worlds up in the sky, right? Or they could just be floating around in darkness and can't find their way, right? And the demon comes in where the spirit was once, right? So a lot of times when you're trying to talk to these wicked people, a lot of the times they're not going to even come to you because the spirit's not there. The soul is. And you could try to reach the soul, because if you could reach the soul, then the soul could reach the spirit and lead the spirit to come back, right? Then the person comes to God. This is why a lot of witches and warlocks that do come to God are able to come to God, because the person was able to penetrate the soul. The soul knows where the spirit is. Once the soul is penetrated, then the soul can reach out to the spirit, and the spirit is released, and the spirit will come back, and the demons have to go. Yah come and take the demons out, and he deal with them. But in the meantime, they have a bunch of demons in them, and the demons is blocking the soul. I mean, you really have to be a serious child of God with some fire to get past all the demons they have, because they have legions of them. They can have 5 and 10 legions. And in the legion, there's 100 to 25,000. Some even have 50,000. Some even have 100,000 demons that could be in this person. So this is why sometimes it's very hard to get across to these nefarious evil people, and this is why a lot of them just wind up dying and coming back, and you can't reach them. So now you know, when you're dealing with witches, right, and they're coming for you, you need to pray that prayer. Father, and sis, write this down. Father, can I say it, Father? Okay. Father, in the name of Yahushua Jesus, this witch or warlock, whatever you're dealing with, I know their spirit not in there, but I know their soul is there, and I know you could penetrate that soul. So I ask you to penetrate that soul. So when somebody come to talk to them, or if you're using me to talk to them about you to accept the Messiah, they will do it. And the demons will literally burn. They will liquefy. Because Yah, once he comes to the heart, he comes with a bunch of fire. Can't nobody deny that fire. And when he comes, them demons are literally liquefied. And they come out through piss, poop, or through the airwaves, crying. You know, sometimes they come out of your head, because God used me to deliver people. I see demons come out their head. You know, when I got delivered, I saw the demon come out my mouth. You know what I mean? So, you can pray that, right? And just pray that the fire of the Holy Spirit can penetrate their soul, because that's what you need to get to. So that Yah could come into the heart and the soul and liquefy and burn up them demons in them and leave. And then the soul instantly contacts the spirit, because it knows where it is, because they're connected. And Yah will bring the spirit back, and then the person is whole. The person is whole. So even if you dealing with it with yourself, this is how you pray for them. I was like, Daddy, that's how you deliver a witch or a nefarious worker of the devil. So like from now on, when you know, in the past, when they come from me, or I see them in a vision, I pray. And then at the end of the prayer, I'll be like, woe unto their souls if they do not want to accept the Messiah, and they want to keep doing their nefarious evil things. Woe unto their soul. And if they die It's because they own recognize. I said, Daddy, and if you don't want them to die and you see them coming to you, let them suffer so much they can't even get up until they come to you. He'll do it. So type up that prayer, sister. Send that to me too. He'll do it. He'll do it. See, so when you start asking Yah to come and penetrate that soul, he gonna come. He gonna come. And I wouldn't be surprised when witches run from your butt. Because the demons will probably make them run. Because like, oh snap, she done told them the prayer. She done told them the prayer. And she about to put it in the prayer book. Oh snap. So when they also add, very important, Holy Spirit just told me, say, Father, in the name of Yeshua Jesus, don't let the demons kill the witch or the nefarious evil person before they have a chance to accept Yah. Because the demons could try and kill them after you to pray for them. Because I'm telling you something, the demons will know you praying for them. Because they in there. And they're going to see something in the spirit. So they ain't going to know it's you, but they're going to know somebody praying. Because before you say this prayer, you be like, Father, I cover myself with the blood of Jesus, my family too, and thank you for hiding me in the spirit realm, so they won't know where it's coming from. They'll just know it's coming. And they could try and kill a person because they could see within inside the person's soul that person will or may have a chance of coming to Yeshua. So also pray they don't get killed before they have a chance to come to Yah. It's the ones that come after you, the ones you know that may not be coming after you, the ones you sense that may not be coming after you. Pray for them. Nefarious, evil people. And I just say witches because it's so many of them. It's so many of all of them. You know what I mean? But we as Christians deal with the witches more than anything. You know what I mean? It's like they're on assignment for the Christian. Yeah. I mean, even though I have a book coming out, but that's not going to be out for at least a month or two. You guys need these prayers now, so, you know, but it'll be good when you get a book, because then you can buy the book and you have it, and you can share it with your people. Like that, the prayer book I just did 2 months ago, it's a colossal. It's like a doggone dictionary. If you haven't gotten it, go on Barnes & Nobles and look for that prayer book. Sis, can you put the name of that prayer book up for me, or Devontae, or Mario, somebody, James, anybody that know, put the link up. They had my comments for a couple of days, so I mean, if you put the link up, they could at least see it. But all you gotta do is check my under my other videos, because this video and the other 2 videos, I don't have the links under there yet. And look for my Barnes & Noble link, or just go to Barnes & Noble, put in Apostle Rosalind Solomon, and they sync my books. So you'll see, I think you'll see the prayer book first, because that's, no, you'll see the prayer book second, because the love notes came out second, or did the prayer book. But you'll see it's big as then. It's $30-something. It could be 50 or 60, because it's almost 500 pages, full of all the prayers I've said up until March or April. No, the book came out in March. So it's all the prayers I said up until March. Now, all these prayers I've been saying after March, a lot of them is going to be in the prayer book too. I just can't help it. I'm just a walking prayer book. I got like 25 prayer books. I'm just a walking, talking psalmist. That's what you call a person that does prayers. They're a psalmist. God gave me that gift. And every time I come on here, sometimes I give you stuff I already know, or he'll just give me stuff that I don't know. I'm like, what? All right. So, oh no, he doesn't like this. That's why I tell y'all, keep me in prayer. I need prayer. Keep me in prayer. But I'm not afraid of the enemy. I'm not afraid to tell y'all stuff, because that's what I was made for. God created me to come in this life to be the apostle and prophet and teacher that I am, and to edify the people and teach them. So y'all could go and teach the same thing like me. You don't got to be an apostle or prophet to teach the stuff that I teach. You know what I mean? He just didn't give me these gifts and talents for myself. He gave them for me to share with others, to pour into others. And I don't mind doing that. And you don't got to pay me to do that. A lot of this stuff that I be teaching you, people be charging you. They'll be having classes now. Yeah, I've had classes in the past, and I will have some in the future that you'll pay, right? But it won't be a lot. But a lot of the stuff that I teach y'all for free, or I put in my books, people charge a lot of money. You know how rich I could be if I did that? But God gonna enrich me in other ways. I don't have to do that. You know, he give it to me for free. So I have to give out at least 70% of it for free. Another 30% he said I could make some money off of, so I could make a living. You know, especially now, COVID done changed the game. People, they ain't loosing with their money like they used to be. They just ain't loose at all. I mean, they, you know, still donating and stuff, but it's changed. And a lot of ministries have stopped. A lot of churches have closed. A church down here recently just closed because they weren't getting no support. None of their parishioners. Even the man in South Africa, John, I saw a sermon where he was preaching to his church because none of them hardly want to give, you know. I'm like, dang, this big old church, half of them don't want to give, you know, because it's because of the virus that came in. Many people get laid off. AI is taking over. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff is so doggone high. Most people spending their money on rent and food, y'all. Rent and food. Energy done went up, so they spending their money on rent, food, gas and electric. People, restaurants, so many restaurants have closed here in Georgia. It's ridiculous. And we known to be the eatery place, right? Good food. But the people just ain't coming in. The Uber people getting mad because they ain't getting tips. The other day I went to a restaurant and I used my debit card, right? And I noticed it had 3 different options to tip. I was like, what if I don't want to tip? Or what if I want to tip more? So I told Pat the other day, I said, Pat, I ain't using my credit card or debit card in these restaurants no more. I'm going to make sure I have some cash. Because if you got cash, they can't force you to tip. Or you tip what you want. But if you use your, I'm telling you, they putting it in there now. If you use your debit card, your credit card in these restaurants. I don't care if you just walk in there to get some food to go. They're going to give you choices, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is. And there's no option to get out of it. And you will have to tip. Let's say you only got $20 on your debit card and your food came to like $20. How you going to get out of it? So if you want to go to a restaurant, sit down and eat, or go in there and, you know, just buy some food to go to the ATM and get you some cash. That way, if you don't want to tip, you don't have to, or you can tip $1 or whatever you want to tip. Now, I don't mind tipping. I used to be a waitress. I know how it is. But you shouldn't be forced to tip. You shouldn't be forced to. Heck, you don't even have to tip. They get paid. And if they're not getting paid enough, then their employer needs to pay them more. Now, waitress is different because they only get $5, $6. When I was a waitress, this was $1.10. That's how long ago it was, right? Now, they are different. But like the Uber people, Uber Eats, Lyft, going into restaurants to eat, you know, like fast food. Like Pat was like, so I tipped $5. Pat was like, why did you tip that? I said, I had no choice. She was like, we ain't sit down. And who the tip going to? Because one guy cooked my fish, one guy fixed the plate, and the other girl, she wrote, I said, I don't know, maybe they're going to split it. And so I told Pat, I said, I might not come in no more. Then God was like, just use cash. And she'll tell you, I told her, I said, you know what? Daddy said, just use cash. They can't force you to tip. But I'm telling you, that's what they doing now. They forcing y'all. So I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time, in case you only got enough money to buy that food. Just letting you know. Oh, really? Because down here, they take cash everywhere down here. I haven't come across any place. And up in when I went home, I didn't come across. And when I was in PA, I didn't come across any place that refused cash. I really didn't. I mean, I think what is it Whole Foods? Some of the Whole Foods is trying to go cashless. But a lot of these places here and where I'm from, so far. Because remember, they tried to get rid of coins, right? Remember that? They couldn't get rid of the coins. Aren't they still here? Aren't they still here? Ain't the pennies and coins still here? All right. Okay, so let me hurry up. All right. So pray for those countries. And pray and ask God to let you be one of the ones with the superpowers. And if he wants you to be one of the ones with the supernatural powers, he'll give it to you. But you have to be totally sold out for God. And I'm being honest. I know you ladies don't like this, but you can't have snake hair in your head. You can't have these fake lashes. You can't be wearing all that makeup. Tight clothes, dropping it like it's hot. Tight pants, tight dresses, shacking up with a dude, sleeping with a dude, got a boyfriend, sleeping with him. You baby daddies everywhere. You can't be cheating on your taxes. I mean, you can't be jealous, covetous, whatever. I mean, you got to be clean. You got to be virtuous. You got to be sold out for God. Really. And you know, like me, my hair has grown so much all around here. But right here is where it's thin the most. So I'm trying something new now. And if this works, I'm going to tell y'all about it. It's a natural herb. So far, well, y'all know about the silica. That stops your hair from breaking and it gives it fullness. And that's working for me. But there's this other herb that I just found out about that's supposed to be very powerful. And it's expensive. The jar was $45. But she gave you a big 16-ounce jar. And it stinks. Right? So I just started using it like 4 or 5 days ago. So before I could tell you about it, I got to see. Because I've been on silica for like 5 or 6 weeks. And I wanted to see how it worked before I say anything. And it worked. So if this, and like I combed my hair this morning, right? Like the silica, because I used to have like a bushel. But they say your hair, 100 strands supposed to come out every day. Right, so now since I've been using silica, it's so good, right? So I noticed I've been using the oil like 4 times, and I noticed like it softened my hair so pretty, and it says it does. It softened it just stink, y'all, but it softens my hair so pretty. So it's starting to work. So in about a month, if it grows like it's supposed to with this stuff, then I'll show it to you. But I'm gonna tell y'all. A little jar is $25, and it's this little. And the big jar, 16 ounce, is anywhere from $45 to $65. It's expensive because it's supposed to really work, and it's ancient. So in about a month, I'm going to give myself a month, like 3-4 more weeks. And when I see some improvement, then I will come and show you ladies. Then you can get it. And you don't even need to use a lot of it. You just take a little bit and rub it in your hands, and that's it. But I'm warning you, it stink, but it's worth the stench. It smells like old smoky something. But you gonna be like, it's worth it. But once you put like your scarf and stuff on, your nighty scarf, you won't smell it. And then when you go outside, you people might smell it if you go to work right afterwards. And you don't have your hair covered, they may smell it. But it fades off after like 2 hours or something. Yeah, that's what I say. Keep using cash so they won't go digital. Because the feds was supposed to launch this month and they didn't. Remember I told you God said they weren't going to launch this month? They's going to have some problems. And didn't I tell you the feds was going to pause? And they did. But they say they might go up 2%. Next month, I don't know. The CPI was good. It was 3%, and they want 2%. So we'll see. And then they're not going to go up again until the end of September because they go on vacation. And Jerome Powell said they was only going to do 2. Now, we know we got to pray over September and October because they might be trying to do some shicey stuff. Like Tether might tank. I'm not saying Tether's going to tank in September, October, but I did have a vision of that, and I told y'all that last year and this year. And then these banks, the L Bank crypto exchange and Wells Fargo. I mean, you saw what happened when those other banks fell and those other platforms, cryptos. You saw what happened. Everything went zzz. You know what I mean? So look, any mini bull run that come, not financial advice. I'm just saying, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. All right. So hold on. Okay, I have to do this king. Okay, now we're going to talk about Canada. Canada is about to become under great judgment. Sin is overflowing. Their cup of iniquity is stinking in my nostrils. But the righteous ones who live all throughout Canada, you will be protected. I mean, you'll see what's going on. It may affect you a little, but it's not going to do any damage to you, make you homeless or nothing like that. He just kept saying he's going to protect his righteous children. But he says the evil leaders, and I saw that Canada guy, I forget his name, the president of Canada, prime minister. I saw him, and I saw a lot of people in his cabinet, and I saw a lot of Canadians who follow him and believe in his structure. I even saw some American politicians who are backing him. They going down with him. Evil leaders and all who follow them. He says his children, he also going to put Canada on fire too. He said his children will be on fire and all will know their daddy's jewels. And then he said, "Yah babies." That's the first time I ever heard say "Yah babies." He said "Dad jewels," but he said they're Yah babies in Canada, USA, and the UK, and etc. So it's not just Canada, USA, and the UK. It's other countries that are going to be under swift judgment of God. His children are going to be protected, and they're going to rise up during this judgment and be on fire for God. And I guess some of these evil folks that God allows to live, you know, maybe they'll come to the Lord. But that president over there, I saw him just being swept away. I'm not saying God's going to kill the man or let the devil kill him. Because sometimes when you see somebody swept away, it could just mean they're finished. Their political career is finished. Like I saw Joe Biden dead 3 times. I saw him fall, and Camilla and them looked at him and laughed. Y'all remember I told you that. I saw him in the casket twice. So does it mean he's going to pass? It could be. Or it means his political is finished because they already put in to impeach him. He was farting over there. I'm sorry to say it, but he was farting over there with the king. You know, and then he was going against protocol. He wasn't supposed to talk to the soldiers, and he talking to him, and the king trying to push him away. The king was so polite with him, right? He falls going up the stairs. I mean, I'm like, God, something wrong there. You know, he's making a spectacle out of us, you know, and he's so interested in helping Ukraine. Almost $150 billion going over there for what? He traveling with the Zelensky. What's his name? Zelensky, the president of UK. He traveling everywhere, and he going everywhere trying to pitch his war to get money. And yet all these innocent people in Ukraine is dying. All these soldiers in Ukraine, Russian soldiers, just dying. They're just obliterating Ukraine. It's going to take billions of dollars to bring them back. We ain't got billions of dollars. Our money's tanking too. You know what I mean? So a lot of Ukraine just ain't going to never come back. They got all the Russian women and children. Over 200,000 soldiers and 300,000 people in Ukraine gone. And all these women left with children. How sad is that? Over a senseless, frivolous war. Don't even make no sense why they still fighting. They should have been ended this war. Been ended it. The UN is getting in it. Other countries is getting in it. And Russia was doing it to prevent other countries. But now he can't prevent them. Netherlands, didn't I tell you news was coming about the Netherlands? They joined the NATO. Didn't I tell you they was going to have a bad storm? They had one, okay? So what Russia's president wanted to do, what he wanted to stop has happened anyway. And y'all remember the vision I had of him, God showed me. He said he was going to obliterate Ukraine. He said he wasn't going to stop it till he flatlined it. And boy, is he flatlining it. That prophecy's coming to pass. You know, but it's a senseless war now because everything he wanted to do, it has happened. Everything he wanted to stop, it has happened. So he might as well just end the war. Both of them, call it a day. Because too many people are losing their lives over a senseless war. Too many wives and children are fatherless and husbandless because of a senseless war. That makes no sense. $150 billion of America's money. They ain't even counting the UK, Poland, all these other countries that done gave his greedy butt president money. And you know all that money ain't went to no war. You know they done skimmed their pockets. You know when they have war, they make money. And the longer the war lasts, the more money they get. And you know gold is moved. So you know Ukraine, if they had some gold, you know America got some of it. You know that. Just like when they went in Iraq, got all the gold, took some of Turkey gold. Okay, so we already know the deal. We ain't stupid. The war is just massing so much other stuff. All right? So, Canada, you're going to be on fire, but great judgment is coming in. The Lord said that restoration is coming to many ministries. So many of you who have ministries and it's lackluster, or the enemy is flatlining it, blocking you, stagnating you. And this is not just for ministry. Well, churches are ministries too. So it's for online ministries, churches, and ministries that have a church or will have a church. There's great restoration coming. And also these satanic ministers, God is about to remove a lot of them. He's about to sit some of them down. Some of them about to leave this earth. God is going to be replacing them. And he's been doing it over the years, because he's been giving me this kind of word for like 5 years. But a lot of new ministries, online, offline churches are going to be rising up and about to be birthed. Like you already exist, but you haven't been fully birthed. Like I've been birthed. I'm going to use myself as an example. My ministry has been birthed. My ministry is known worldwide, but it has not been completely birthed, because there's millions of other people that don't know a thing about me. I mean millions, right? Never heard my music, don't even know I exist. So ministries like mine and others like mine or will be like mine, he's about to birth them. We'll probably start seeing some stuff this year into next year, but he's about to start. Also ministries in foreign lands. Ministries in foreign lands, not just Canada, UK, America, etc., but also in foreign lands. Indigenous people. Now we know the black and brown people are the true indigenous people, but you have other indigenous people like over there in Indonesia, Taiwan, places like that, parts of Africa. Even in the UK, you got the abolition Indians and stuff like that, right? These people are going to be throwing down their false idols, and they're going to start rising up to God too. You're going to see this. It's going to happen. People in different areas in the world will worship God that have never worshiped him before. God said even south and north of Russia. South and north of Russia. People in these places are going to start worshiping our Father. Are going to start worshiping our Father. Did I finish this? I told you about the Okay, also the Lord told me that King Solomon. Something's going to happen in Africa to prove King Solomon ruled in Africa and not over there on the border of Africa, which is the tectonic plates, which is what they call Israel. These archaeologists they're going to tell the world. They're going to find something about Solomon. It could be relics. It could be treasures of his. They're going to find something so big about Solomon in Africa. King Solomon is going to prove that he ruled in Africa. And it's going to prove that he was a brown or pecan or tan person like y'all saw on y'all picture on my lamp. It's going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that his kingdom was in Africa and that he was, or darker, or lighter. And when will that happen? Daddy did not say. Now here we go with the cryptocurrency. I am not a guru, right? And I am not a stockbroker. I'm not a bank financier or nothing. All I am is an apostle, which is big in the heavens. All of us apostles, okay, of the Lord. So the Lord said, well, the kingdom wealth transfer will be continuously. See, I was thinking, like probably a lot of y'all before he told me this, it was going to be a one-shot thing, right? And if you miss it, you miss it, right? It's already happening. He made millionaires in May, like I said, the end of June, like he told me, before this month is out, August and throughout the year, right? So he said it's going to be continuously. It's not going to be a one-time thing like we all thought. And the Lord said that all of you who are expecting some type of wealth transfer, whatever you're invested in, or you may not be invested in anything, God could just tell a rich person to give you something, right? But the Lord said, ask him for instructions and directions. To ask him now for instructions and directions on what you should do with whatever he's going to give you. Even ask him what person he wants you to help, family members, ministries that you follow. Ask him if he wants you to buy properties and what kind of house. If he wants you to start multiple businesses, if he wants you to invest in life insurance policies like rich folks do, if he wants you to do S corp companies or C corp companies or LLC, if he wants you to open up trust accounts here in America or other countries, ask him these things. Because some of y'all, he told me some people who follow me. He didn't give me any, a few people he did give me their names, but I'm not going to say their names on here because you got all kinds of scammers and witches and stuff watching, and I don't want to bring any trouble to anybody, so I will keep it to myself, right? But some people who follow me is heavily invested in certain investments, and when they pop off this year or next year or in 2025, you're going to be, I ain't going to say stinking, I'm going to say y'all going to be like King Solomon. Although God said King Solomon, nobody ain't going to be rich like him again, which is true. But some of y'all going to be almost like him. and I've seen 3 men and 2 women that I know, but I'm not saying. Some of y'all going to be almost like King Solomon. Some of y'all going to be halfway like King Solomon. Some of y'all going to be in the beginning of King Solomon. Some of y'all going to be like Joyce Myers, T.D. Jakes, 100 million something. Who else, Daddy? Creflo Dollar. Some of y'all going to be like that because some of y'all been invested in these investments. Like, heck, XRP is 80 cents, right? Think about the people who've been in XRP since 2013. Or 2019, that have 100,000, 200,000, 300, 400, a million. If they got a million or more, they're already millionaires. Because it was 43 cents. And then I just gave y'all word from God yesterday. He said suddenlies and miracles. And a mini bull run was coming, right? And here we is, right? So let's say a person had 1 million or 2 million XRP. And they bought it when it was 20 cents. Because when the tanking started last year, it got to 23 cents, right? Or they had it for the past 3 years since it been like, they millionaires already. So prophecy come to pass. Because Daddy said he was making millionaires. The last half of July. What's today? The 14th? We almost in the last half. So some of y'all listening to me, some of y'all could be millionaires. Because some of y'all been in the XRP since 2013 and 2019. And you got it when it was real low. Even people who got 100,000 or 200. And see, I just never liked XRP. And when people was giving it to me, I was switching it for something else. So I only had a little XRP left. So I can't really do nothing with it. I gotta wait till it go up better. Then I could like use it for bills or something, give some to my family or whatever, right? But I was like, Daddy, I should have got more, but I ain't like it. I should like it. I don't like Dogecoin neither. It's just some coins you don't like. And I was talking to my brother. He's like, yeah, I got some too I don't like. I was like, but and God told me for 2 years, and I've been telling y'all they was going to win the case, and they did. June 13th, I just made a short telling y'all it was about the rise and about Gary Shuckler and all that, right? But I still would not invest in it. I still wouldn't do it. And I was like, Daddy, I should just beat myself. I should give myself a spanking. I said I should have never spent that XRP that all these people gave me. And now I only got a little bit. So I got to sit here and wait for it to blow up real big in order to get some. I was like, oh, well, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Is what it is. So some people got like 100,000, 200,000, they half a millionaires, or a quarter of a millionaire, or 15th or 10th of a millionaire. So prophecy came to pass, and I just was telling y'all, suddenly was coming, miracles, breakthrough, blessings, and it came. And this is just the beginning of it. You know what I mean? So now, the Lord showed me Lunar Classic, and He showed me Shib. Where's the Shib at? Oh, here it is. Okay. He showed me Lunar Classic. Now, He showed me this before. But the first time, okay, He showed me 0.004. But last year, He showed me 0.0004. So I believe we're going to see 0.0004. And then after that, we're going to see 0.004. Then after that, it went to 1 cent. It was so fast. And then after that, it went to 15 cents. And I ain't see anything after that. But I know it's going to go up to $2 and some change because I seen that, right? But first, last year, I saw 0.0004. Now He showed me 0.00. So I think the 0.0004 coming, then the 0.004, and then I saw it go to a penny, and then it just shot to 15 cents. And then after that, I didn't see anything else. So when it goes to 0.004, people will make money, depending on how much of the coins you got, you'll make a lot. Then when it goes to 0.004, you definitely gonna make a lot. Then when it go to a penny, you definitely go 15 cents, hundredaires, millionaires, depending on what you got. But I don't know how fast it's going to take. Most people, when it gets to 0.0004, they're gonna take profits. When it gets to 0.004, they definitely gonna take profits. When it gets to a penny, they out of there. So by the time it get to 15 cents, it may only be 30% still holding it. But if you're smart, you won't take it all. You'll leave some. That's all I'm saying. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just saying, don't be greedy, right? And then I saw Shib. It was 0.005. It had dropped 3 zeros. It looked like it happened in 1 or 2 days. 0.005. Now I seen Shib at 0.0033, and I think 0.00, it was 0.00030. So maybe all of those will happen first, because 0.005 is real good. By the time it gets to 0.005, you know, people will be millionaires. And if it goes to the 0.0003 or 0.00033 or 0.0030, something like that, I saw, people gonna be millionaires too. But when it goes to 0.005, shoot, if you got like 10 billion of that stuff, you like, what's that could be like almost 100 million or half of it. People gonna be sitting real pretty. And the Lord told me that XRP, he showed me the spirit realm, and I looked it up to confirm it, that I saw XO just yesterday. This happened. I was talking to him and I fell asleep, and he showed me XRP was $3.69 before this year was out. So I went to Coinbase to see how much it was, because it has all last time high. It said $3.64, and I saw just yesterday $3.69 before the year was out. Now some people are prophesying $25 or $50 or 100. Some of these gurus are saying 25. I think I heard Johnny say 25, but I heard these other two gurus say 50 or $100, right? Now I seen XRP at $5 and $10 and then 50 and then 100, but I don't know how that's gonna happen, right? But yesterday, God showed me $3.69 before this year is out. So it's not to say that it's not gonna get 25 like Johnny said, or like 50 or 100 like other people say. But before it hits $25 or 50 or 100, it's gonna hit $3.69, and it might do it in the bull run. So anybody that got 50,000, shoot, if you got 10,000, what's that? 10,000 XRP coins times 369. Psh, that's some money. But if you got 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, you're going to be rich. So look, all of you that got XRP, don't forget me, because you know what? For like 2.5 years, my sister been telling y'all that they was going to lose the case first and then they was going to win. And it happened. I've been telling y'all. Don't forget, sister. And then I told you the vision on June 13th, and now I'm telling you the 369. Don't forget me. Hook me up. And when that sheet hit the 0.00033 or 0.0030 or 0.005, don't forget me. And when Lunc hits 0.0004, 0.004, and then a penny, and then 15 cents, don't forget me. And don't be cheap neither when you give. Give cheerfully, like a cheerful giver. Like a cheerful giver. All right, okay, I want to show y'all something, right? This was in my other phone, and it came up from 2019. And I used to have this picture on my computer, and you'll see the bottom of my computer here, so you'll know I'm telling the truth, right? Now, this picture was just a regular picture. But when I took the picture in 2019, God put two things on it. And I ain't lying. You could go to God and ask him if I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying. Look what he put on the picture. I hope y'all can see it. Do you see the open door right here? Do you see the orb, which is an angel? Do you see that? Do you see that? Let's show you again. Do you see that? The angel and the open door. I ain't put it there. When I said, Daddy, when did the orb angel go on there and the open door? I said, I didn't do that. That was 2019. I didn't do that. I just, look. And you can see the picture. You can see, hold on. Wait. Come on. Now I don't want to open. The devil's a liar. Hold on. Why you don't want to open that? You stinky thing. Okay. Look. Can y'all see the bottom of my phone? That's my computer. That used to be, you know how you have pictures on your computer and you change them? What do you call it? Covering, right? And I liked it very much, so I just took a picture of it in 2019. And it's been in my phone all this time. And Daddy led me to, I said, Daddy, where did that orb come from of the angel? And where did the open door come from? I didn't put that in there. And this is not a book cover. I'm going to show y'all again so you can see it. You see the angel orb and you see the open door. You see? I'm like, Daddy just doing miracles after miracles. It just amazes me. It puts such a bright smile on my face. When you said don't cheat on taxes or taxes illegally anyway, what if we don't pay them? Is that still... if you don't pay them, IRS will probably look at you as like ducking them, but that's not cheating. Well, maybe it is. Let me ask God. If a person purposely, because innocently people don't pay the taxes innocently, especially in ministries, because they don't know. They got to get a 501c or register ministry have a registered a legal lawyer, like an agent. Like you could use LegalZoom. It's like $2.99 a year for them to be your agent. Because if you don't have an agent, see what happened was when you operate a ministry in any state, you're supposed to register as a corporation. You're supposed to have articles of papers. So when you applying for stuff, they could go to the registry for the state of Georgia and see that your ministry is legit because you're in good standing, right? And you file taxes with the state of Georgia or whatever state you're in, and then you could do it $9.90 yourself, or you could go to an attorney who does a nonprofit, or you could even go to H&R Block and they could do it for you, right? And file it, or you can mail it in, right? And they don't take taxes from you, but they want to know what you're doing, right? But let's say you're not doing that, right? You kind of cheating, even though they're not going to really take a lot of taxes for you or no taxes at all. You're kind of cheating. You're like operating without being legal and legit. And I would think God would want you to be, because if you're getting donations, you definitely need to be legal and legit. Because IRS agent could be creeping out here just looking and find you and see you getting PayPal, Cashapp, but you ain't got no registered agent. You're not incorporated. You don't got no articles of corporation. You're not registered with your state, the tax office. You ain't got none. You could get in trouble. You could get in trouble, and they can make you pay taxes on it. Like if you got like $50,000 of donations that day, they can make you pay taxes on that, and you may not have it. And then they'll put you in a payment plan, and all that interest, you'll be paying them forever. And then they can shut your ministry down, and you can't get nothing. You'd have to go to another state and apply. In that state, you won't be able to get nothing, but you could go to another state and apply, and they may approve you because you're in another state. But sorry, my arm itching. I gotta scratch it. But so I would think if you don't file your taxes, that is kind of cheating in a sense, especially if you. Now, if you have a business and your business, like for instance, I haven't operated my business in 2 years, so you have no taxes. And the IRS can see that, because once you file your taxes on your business, you under their scope. So they can see that you hadn't been operating in 2 years. But sometimes you could still file your taxes, a tax if you haven't been operating, because you might could get a credit, right? But you don't necessarily have to file your taxes if you didn't have any business for 2 years, because there's nothing to file. But if you want to see if you're eligible for credit, you could do that. But just a normal working person, and you don't go file your taxes, in a sense, that's kind of like cheating, even though we shouldn't be paying taxes. Excuse me, but that is kind of like cheating, because you worked, and you know they took out taxes, and you scared to go file because you might owe, or whatever the case is, But I know somebody it happened to, and I noticed the IRS gives a person 7 to 10 years. They know you're not filing, and they will wait 7, sometimes 5. It's either 5, 7, or 10 years, and then they come for you. And you owe them all this money, and they know you're going to go on a payment plan. They ain't going to throw you in jail unless you like a rich person and you owe them millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then your chances of going to jail is 50% if you don't have that kind of money. But people like us, they ain't going to put you in jail. They're going to put you on payment plan, and it's going to be $300-$400 a month with interest. And you're going to be paying it for a couple of years. Heck, 5-10 years. So don't think the IRS does not know you're not filing, because they don't. But I notice most people that I've dealt with, even a family member of mine, he's paying $360 as we speak. They caught his butt last year. He went 7 years. 7 years. And what happened to him was he was filing his taxes, but he was putting, how was he putting it? 2 and 3 dependents, and it's only him. And they caught him 7 years. And so now He's paying him $360 for the next 3 to 4 years. $360 a month. And it's hurting him. But he got paid. And a couple other people, was unwinding to me, telling me about their problems, asking me to pray. I know this is 5, 7, and 10 years they give you. It's like they're setting you up. So if I was any of you, I'm not a tax person, but I would say you're a child of God. Be honest. File your taxes. If you got back taxes, file them. If you owe money, IRS will put you on a payment plan. Anyway, after 7 years of owing them money, they eradicated it. Because, like me and my daughter's father, we used to go back and forth. 1 year he carried it, 1 year at the end of the year he was supposed to carry it. I went and filed first. I think I got like $6,000-$7,000, right? Man, he came for me. I couldn't believe it. He came for me. And they gave him the money because we had like that joint custody, but he proved that he had her more that year than I did. And I paid them back for like almost 7 years. I was only paying them like 100 and something a month. 7 year came, that it was gone. So after 7 years, it's gone. It immediately comes off. And even with student loans, after 20 years or 25 years, they come off. Or if you're a clergy in the ministry, you've been in the ministry more than 11 years, they'll take it off. Right? So if I was you, I would file my taxes. I would. Just so that won't come to you later. Also, let's say you haven't filed your taxes for 8 years. That 8th year, they will take off. Because after 7 years, they have to eradicate it. But them 7 years prior, you'll be paying. So if you a person ain't filed taxes in 10 years, you can definitely take off the first 3 years. The last 7, you'll have to pay. Okay, yeah. You could get you a CPA or a nonprofit lawyer, or you could just go straight to LegalZoom like I did. They incorporated my ministry, and I have international ministry, meaning that my ministry, I'm going to keep it here. I already got it in Jersey, so I pay license for both. But I don't file taxes in Jersey because I'm here. But when I go back to Jersey, I got to file taxes there. But if I build a church here, I got to file taxes, the 990 in both places. So, like if you build your ministry here and you want to move to another state, you have to file in that state. And it's called international filing, right? So you have to file in that state to get articles of incorporation in that state. If you want to keep the state you in, you would still have to pay your license every year. But you wouldn't have to file taxes in that year. At that state, you would have to file your 990 in a new state. Like when I go home to Jersey, I file my 990 there, but I still pay for my license here. So in case I want to come back here and build a church. So if I build a church here, then I got to fill a 990 for here and a 990 for there. If I decide to open a church in 3 other states, that's 5 different states, each 990. You definitely going to need a CPA or a nonprofit lawyer, right? Because you would have to file 990s in all 3 states and with the state. You know? So it's not, you can go on Amazon, buy your book on nonprofit. That's what I did. Buy your book on taxes. I ain't read that book yet, but buy your book on taxes. You know, that's a big book. I ain't get to it yet. And my nonprofit book, shoot, did I put a dent in it? Not yet, but I learned enough, right? So that's what you do. But if you just have like one ministry, you could use LegalZoom. You know what I mean? They do everything. It's just $2.99 a month. Because what happens is all through the year, the state or the IRS could send them legal documents. And then they send you a copy of it, and you could download it, or you leave it, or you store it there. And they keep it. And also having a registered agent keeps you from paying these state fees. Because Georgia and other states have fees. And they could be up to $500 to $1,000 that you got to pay every year if you just choose to be your own agent. So $2.99 is a lot, but it's better than $500 to $1,000 or more being your own agent. They could also liquidate your ministry, although you could still operate it under low key, but they could liquidate your ministry and pull down your good standing articles of incorporation. So if you want to apply for like a grant or something, and that it'll be hard for you, right? Although you may still have a 501c, you might could still get some kind of grants, but not big grants or grants in your state because you're not in good standing anymore. So that's why, if you go through LegalZoom, the $300 is worth it. Or if not, you get a a nonprofit lawyer. You would have to pay him yearly to maintain your agency, so you don't have to pay those fees and stuff, and you could apply for grants or whatever you want to apply for, and it takes anywhere from 6 months to 9 months or 10 months to get a 501c. It might take up to a year now because of how things are behind, And at first, I didn't have a 501c because I was told, they're going to make you not preach this and that. Man, I talked to an IRS agent. I did my own research. That's not true, guys. Do you know what they bother you for? When you apply for your 501c, it's a huge application, and it takes a minute to do it. Then you got to type up all this structure and all this, and then you got to have director, president, secretary. Now, you could be the director and president and secretary yourself, but the IRS rather you have 3 to 6 people on board. But if you don't have nobody in the beginning, you can name yourself as the president and director and secretary. But when let's say you go get a church building, you have to put somebody as a secretary or a director, but that's where your bylaws come in. So in your bylaws, you have to put that nobody can liquidate your church, no matter what you do. You could be the notorious adulterous person, scandal, or you could have cheated church funds, stole $50,000 out of the church funds for yourself, right? Those are grounds to remove you from your church. Yeah, you'll still be praying for the building. But if you put in your bylaws, like my bylaw page is about 50 pages. So if you put in your bylaw pages, if I ever do anything dirty, steal from the church, scandal, whatever, y'all ain't taking my church from me, nor is you removing me. I'm going to liquidate it. What does it mean to liquidate? Sell it. Then you could go to another state and open the church up again like a lot of these pastors do. Go to another state, move there, and get a new church. Then you got some of these board members, you ain't got to do nothing, and they want to do a coup and try and take your church for you because your church is financially good and virtuous, and they want to take you out and put their own person in so they can steal. Nah, boo, not happening. You'll never remove me because it's in my bylaws. So all of you that got ministry, you need to put that in there, that you will liquidate the church. Also, you need to put in your bylaws, like they got meeting minutes, so, and they send them to you when you get incorporated. They send you this pretty book that has minutes in it, and so every meeting you have, whether it's on the phone or in the church, you have somebody, that's what the secretary do, write them down, right? You also, when you get incorporated, they also send you, what is those things? Stock option certificates. So I can make my church, if I wanted to, a stock option. Like I can give, because you don't pay your board members, you don't pay your secretary, you don't pay them. You pay yourself because you are the president, you are the CEO of the church. So you pay yourself. But just remember, what you pay is taxes. So let's say you decide to pay yourself 50% of your ministry funds that come in, whether it be donations, grants, whatever it is. Let's say you pay yourself 50%. You pay taxes on that 50%. If you pay yourself 30%, you pay taxes on that. You pay yourself 20%. 10%, you pay taxes on that. But the rest of the church, let's say you want to pay yourself 20%, you pay taxes, but the other percent doesn't because it's nonprofit, right? Anytime you give somebody cash, you got to write it down. Anytime you go and buy gift cards, you got to write it down. The IRS don't normally ask you for this, but just in case they do, especially if you're a ministry that got over 500,000, a million, whatever coming in, they might ask you, right? So you write it down or have somebody else keep up with it, right? So if you are one of the persons that decide to pay yourself out of your ministry, just remember, whatever percentage you take, you're paying taxes on it. So let's say you made $120,000 that year, and you took 50%. You're paying $60,000 of taxes, which is going to be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 in taxes. So what that means is, all through the year, your 50%, you got to take out your tax money. So when that time comes to file the taxes, you got it. Because you don't want to owe IRS. Because they're going to put interest on it, and you're going to be paying them double. Set up a single member and then register for an entity. You stay single member. If you only member can remove the board and still have. Yeah, but you still got to. Oh, well, in Delaware they do that. Okay, but here in Georgia and I think in Jersey, it has to be in the bylaws. Some states it has to be in the bylaws. So and anyway, I would recommend, even if you're in Delaware, always have bylaws. You got to. Like in one of my bylaws, I have where the deacon has to be married and the deaconess has to be married. I also have my bylaws, if a person that's transgender or homosexual want to try and sue me because I'm preaching something they don't like, or let's say they come in dressed as a drag queen and they're a man and you could tell, all right, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna put you out of nothing because I'm gonna preach to you. Right? But if you disrupting my church and I have to throw you out, I'm going to do that. But you can't come back and sue me because I have a big chapter in my bylaws for that. So you can't come back and sue me because I threw you out because you disrupted my church. Or if you don't like what I'm preaching, you disrupted my church, you getting out. And you won't sue me because it's in my bylaws. So I recommend anybody that has a ministry or a church or both, you need to have bylaws. Do just like I did. I Googled how to write bylaws. I had other people who had churches I knew, and they taught me how to do it. Go to Amazon, buy a book on how to write church bylaws. Okay? You need this. And when you have a website, always have a mission statement on there. Wherever your ministry mission is, whatever scriptures stick out to you, you have to have that on there so people know what you stand for. And you have to have stuff in your bylaws. It's very important because people can sue you for anything nowadays. Your own board members can sue you. Your church members can sue you. So you got to, and then another thing, I don't recommend you put in your house. Now, you can put your house in a trust. Let's say you brand your name. I branded my name. My name is branded. Nobody can never take my name from me. My middle name too is branded. I paid $600 to get it branded. I got papers to prove it. My name is branded. So if you're in a ministry, I recommend you paying to get your name branded, right? When you get your name branded, let's say you go buy a house. You could put your house in that branded LLC. And people still won't be able to know where you live because you're branded. I also have a company I pay $60 a month to. They protect my brand. They protect my name. They remove stuff off of the internet that need not be there. These things are very important, right? So when you buy your own house, you put your name in your brand, put your house in your branded name, protect your house, protect where nobody can find where you live because you got crazy people out there, right? Your gas and electric bill, put it in your branded LLC name. Your water bill, you put it in your branded name. Why? You get outstanding credit. You'll get all the credit you want. And that's what you need because your name is branded, right? Let's say you want to be a motivational speaker. Your name is branded. So you could go to school or take a short course to learn how to become a motivational speaker. Heck, you don't even got to go to school. You could just start telling people you a speaker. You don't have certificate or nothing, because a lot of people out here who are speakers and they don't even have a certificate. They didn't even go to school. See, I have a certificate. A lot of y'all don't know this. My sister Pat knows it. I am a certified speaker. I have a certificate. I paid, went to school, took the test, and I am a certified speaker. And my name is branded as an LLC. So anytime I want to start applying for speaker gigs, writing up my proposals and whatever, I can start doing that. And I'm going to start doing that very soon. I can start doing that. If you want to be a speaker, you can start doing that. But you have to brand your name in LLC to do that. And build your brand, however you're going to do that. And then you get a tax account, which the state you live in, right? And then whatever money you made from speaking that year, you pay your taxes on it. And let's say you want to move to another state. You don't need to brand yourself in another state. You only need to brand yourself in one state. That's it. Your LLC is good everywhere you go. Now, if you want to go and brand yourself in your new state where you at, you could do that. But once you brand your name, it's brand for life. And if you want to, you got a certificate in speaking, you can speak anywhere. Because I'm even in this big organization. I have to pay $5 or $10 a month. So anytime I'm ready to speak, I can go into their website. They are all over the world. It's a huge organization. It came part of the package. All I have to do is go into their website and see where they're speaking engagements in my state or wherever I want to go, and write up a proposal and do a power thing and send it to them. And if they choose me, and I tell them, how much I'm looking to get paid for, and or we can negotiate that, and I send it to them and they approve me, I got a speaking gig. I got a speaking gig. This girl had a vision that she saw me doing TED Talk. I didn't know what TED Talk was a couple of months ago, so I looked them up, right? And they can really get you out there, but you got to pay thousands of dollars for them to do it. And I'm not doing that. And ever since I applied, they've been inviting me to come here, come there. They're going to give me a discount if I come here. Or either the speaking is free, but you got to pay for this and pay for that. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying anybody for me to speak. You're going to pay me. Right? So I just wait on God to open that door. Once the door is open for me in other places to preach and stuff, people will learn that I'm a speaker. People will learn that I'm branded. And they will eventually invite me to speak. And I will get paid for it. See, I'm patient. I'm patient. I've been in this ministry 13, 14 years. I'm patient. You should never have to pay anybody for you to speak. Never. And then the places they send you to speak, you're not really speaking to people. You are, but you're speaking to other people who paid what you paid. So what open door is that? You speaking to the same kind of people who paid what you paid. They trying to do the same thing you trying to do. So what open door is that? And you done paid $3,500? Really? You are enriching them. Leave me alone. And then this other lady, she has something called Kingdom Connect. She's not asking me for money, but she want me to fly all the way out to California to come and speak, and I gotta pay for it. Nah, you want me to speak, you gonna pay for it. I'm not paying. You know how much it costs to go to California round trip? Then I gotta pay for a hotel. I don't mind paying for my own hotel, but you won't pay my airfare. You don't want to pay that? I ain't coming. Because let me tell you, I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate to be in these churches. I'm not desperate to be a speaker. I'm not desperate to do this. I'm waiting on my Father. I wouldn't care if it took him 25 years. I wouldn't care if I was 75 years old and he just now put me out there. That's all right. Long as I'm young and vibrant and energized, I do it. And I'm teaching y'all, don't be desperate to get open doors in ministry. Wait on God, because you'll regret it. If you go through that door, it has happened to me. If you go through that door before your time, you will regret it. You will delay yourself. You will delay yourself. And don't be paying people for you to preach. Don't be paying people for you to be a speaker. Don't do that. You're supposed to get paid for that. Don't do that. And don't let nobody cheat you when you do preach. They either supposed to give you 50% of their offering or take an offering for you or pay you up front. And have a bio ready. Get you a bio kit. That's what I got. You could go to where did I get that? I can't remember. But get you a bio kit with pictures of you, who you are, what you do, and what you call that other thing. It start with a P. I got it. It's your I'm just gonna say benefits. what you expecting? Type up or have somebody type it up for you. If you want to stay in 5-star hotels, 3-star hotels, 2-star hotels, and if you want them to pay for it, or you can write, I'm willing to pay on certain circumstances, or I'm willing to pay half on certain circumstances, or I'm not willing to pay anything. Because if the church is a rich church, then you demand them to pay it. Your hotel and your travel, but you pay for your own food. Don't stay in nobody's house, because a lot of these churches, because when I was preaching, when I was down south, a lot of these churches will offer you to stay in a room in their house. And you don't know what spirit that person is carrying. Sister Ann on the committee, she got an extra room. You can stay in Sister Ann. Do I know Sister Ann's spiritual life? I wouldn't care if she on the committee. Do you know how she live? No. So I wouldn't recommend you stay at no church committee or in administration. Put it in there, your benefit thing. I'm not doing that. Hotel, boo. And ain't nobody else supposed to have a key to that room but you. Remember what happened to Anita Byam, man sniffing her underwear, right? Nobody else has access to that hotel room but you. You get both the keys when you get there, right? Then you put in there, they have to have somebody pick you up. Or if you drive, you could request they pay for a rental car for you to get back and forth. If not, you request for somebody to pick you up at the hotel, take you to the church, and bring you back. You can also put in there how long you're going to preach. If it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 2 hours. If they invite you to a conference, okay, I only want to speak at that conference for 2 hours. But let's say they want you to stand delivering people. Okay, and the conference starts, say, 3 o'clock. Tell them, okay, you want to be finished by 7, 8, or 9, right? Then you tell them how you want to get paid. It depends on the church. It depends on when you get invited. Some places, if it's a small church, tell them you want 50% of the donation, or they take up a donation for you, or they can negotiate a flat fee. If it's a rich church, you want a donation, boo. Okay? Because that donation might be more than that payment. You know what I mean? Then also you put in there, if you write books like me, you might have some CDs for music. You write in there, depending on the church, I also want to sell some of my books. And you get none of the proceeds because they're my books. Or the church could negotiate with you and say, okay, we can get you 1,000 books sold. Give us 20%. Okay. You will give me 1,000 books sold at $25 each? Okay. You can have 20%. I'll take 80. Put in there. You pay for your own food. That's no problem. You know? But you gotta put in it. Dependency, you gotta change the benefit thing up. That's why you type it up. So you could go in Microsoft and erase this part and put or you have a couple typed up. You copy it, cut and paste it, put it on a Word doc again, and write in something else. So you'll have 3 or 4 different ones depending on if it's a conference, if it's a rich church, if it's a middle class church, if it's not so rich church, you know, whatever it is, you'll have it to fit that genre, right? Let's say the church wants you to sing, or the conference wants you to sing because you're a singer. That's extra. That's my talent. That's my anointing, but that's my talent. That's my anointing talent. You gonna pay me for that. You want me to sing. You're going to pay me for that. Okay? So, I'm helping y'all. You know, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but the Holy Spirit, I guess, leading me. So, I'm helping. And you see, all this information I'm giving you, I could charge the crap out of you for it. I got a whole bunch more, but I ain't sharing that. Because one day I'm going to have a class. I'm going to teach about it. All right? So, I got to go. All right? So, I gave you all that I was supposed to give you. I've been on here almost 3 hours. Oh, my goodness. I've been on here this long in a long time. I would like you to pray for healing. Okay, I pray God heal you from insomnia. In Yeshua's name, that God give you peace and that you get good sleep. I mean, if y'all want to throw a sister donation or something for the information I just gave you, Cashapp, $yahuahelohim, www.getthatsuit7.com, or Prophetess Rosalind Solomon.blogspot.com, PayPal to the middle lower right. You want to drop a sister a seed for some, for her goodness, go right ahead. Or you can send it to my P.O. Box, 1473, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30214, my 30 Voice of Yeshua's Ministry. Okay? You've been cheated big time. I'm sorry to hear that. Whatever cheated you, you can credit for giving away clothes. Oh yeah, you could do that too. Because I've done that so much. Like, what I do is I ask God, because sometime I can't remember. Like, I gave away a big bag of clothes a couple weeks ago, and like 6 of the dresses were sizes 24 that I've had, right? And then I think the other 6 were 2X's. 6 of them still had tags on them. And I didn't want to give them away, but they were too big. And at first I was paying the cleaners to take up stuff, but it became too expensive. I'm like, I ain't got that kind of money. So I'm sure I must give them away and just ask God to replace them. So that's what I do. So then if they don't have price tags on them, and I only wore them once or twice or a couple of times, I'll ask God. I'll be like, God, how much should I put in my book these clothes cost me? Let's say he'll say 300. So in my book, I put, okay, today I donated to so-and-so $300 worth of clothes. When you give food away, like I always know how much food I'm giving away because receipts and stuff, right? Or if I'm just giving stuff out of my refrigerator, I say, God, how much? He'll say 50, 100, whatever, right? So I write down, today I gave so-and-so pantry $100 worth of food. When I see people on the street and I give them money, or the grocery stores or wherever, I write down, in this grocery store or the grocery store, I gave S amount. On the streets, I gave S amount. Today, I gave homeless people S amount. Like one time I went in a restaurant, ordered some food, and I had already knew God had told me to take $100 and give it away, right? So I was sitting in the restaurant. He said, how many people is behind that counter at work? And I counted 5. He said, give each of them $20. So when I came home, I wrote it down. I gave $20 to 5 people at so-and-so restaurant. That's what you do. If you give it to them in the street, I gave it in the street. If you do fundraiser, I did fundraiser on GoFundMe for whatever. And you have receipts from GoFundMe anyway. It's on your bank account, right? That's how you write it down. And you usually don't show our IRS this, but when you filing taxes, you each year it's like 5 pages, 10 pages. You have to type up all the stuff that you gave. You have to go in your little book and look at all the stuff you gave. If you don't remember the date, you put the month, because sometimes I put the date and then sometimes I put the month. So let's say in March you gave away $2,000. You typing it up for March 2022. I gave away $2,000. I gave homeless, hungry, pantry. That's why you write it down in your book where it went. So you give it to the IRS, and they will actually read it, so they will know where your money going. So if you don't type up stuff and send it to them, and it's over a certain amount, they might start investigating you, and you don't want that. So what I used to do it month to month. I used to go type it up month to month, but last year I sat there for like 6 hours typing up every month. and I said I was going to do month to month this year, and I didn't, but I write it down month to month. So probably like in December, I'm going to take 4 or 5 hours and just write down every month and everything I did and where it went. And so it could be ready for next year when I go to the tax place to do it. And it's better to let the IRS know what you're doing with your money, so they'll never come for you. They'll never come for you. And when you fill out your 501c's, you have to let them know. It's a thing on there that they ask you if you're going to be giving cash out. And if you don't let them know that you're giving cash out, you could get in trouble. So if you're a ministry like mine, you give cash all the time to people at the leading of God, the unction of God. They have to know. So it's, I forget where it's at, but it's on there. And they also ask you if you're going to be giving away cars, if you're going to be taking money from rich people, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, if you're not getting that now, then no. But if that happens later on, you can always call the IRS and let them know that things have changed with your ministry, and that part of the application might have to be retracted, and they'll do it. They'll work with you. You know? Man, I'm giving y'all some jewels. I mean, there's people out there charge y'all $600 for this kind of info. That's why I'm saving the rest of it, because y'all going to pay me for the rest of it. Not $600, but y'all going to pay me. Yeah, I did. I lost 65 pounds so far. I got 60 more to go. God is good, right? But it took me since, what was it? December 2020. So so that was 2.5 years. So I did it kind of slow. But my next 60 pounds, I want to get that off like in a year or less. You're welcome. Okay, guys. I got to go. So I'll see y'all soon. Right? So come back and listen to this juicy a YouTube video. It got jewels in it. Come back and listen. And I know sis gonna write the prayers down, but y'all need them now, so come back and listen. And if you want to see pictures of Yahushua, go to my Facebook, Prophetic Mantle, or Rosalind Solomon, or my community tab. And again, join my artist page on Instagram, Rosalind.Solomon50. Sis put my thread on here. She gonna send it to me. And I'm going to start putting that under here so y'all know. But you have to subscribe, and I have to approve you. All right? And you can send prayer requests to my other Instagram, which is Rosalind Solomon 71. But please, no dream interpretation. You can also send prayer requests to Facebook, but you'll reach me faster on Instagram. Okay? So God bless everybody. Have a happy Sabbath and enjoy yourself. Keep me in prayer as I do you. And we will talk very soon. Much love.